Choke, no joke, Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, Chicky choke, no joke. We here now. You know what it is. Choke, no joke after dark. That's what it is tonight, baby. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I am here. I am in the building. I am in the building. I got a very interesting show for y'all tonight. Oh, we got a very interesting show for you tonight. First and foremost, make sure y'all get that Hip Hop Nucleus out now, right now on Tubi, Amazon Prime, whatever platforms am I on? I am on Tubi, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. OTT Studio, Future Today, Stash, ALTRD TV, Cluster TV. You got any of those? You can go and get my documentary, The Hip Hop Nucleus, out now. All right. If you ain't know, you better ask somebody. All right. You see it right there. They coming in, Kenyatta, what up? Kenyatta first in the building. P&K Warehouse just stepped in. Walter Q, Payday, Miss A. Matthews, what up, boo? No Love, Simba, what up? Riz Lyricist, you already know. Crystal Hope, we here now. Choke, no joke, all right? We in the building, as we should be. You know, these notifications take a little minute to go out, so I'm going to let them go out because I got a little special tonight. But I do need y'all to go pick up the Hip Hop Nucleus. Sure. All right. Mix Wells just stepped in, Unpopping Opinions. Let me give y'all a little sample of the Hip Hop Nucleus real quick. Documentary written, produced, directed, edited, shot by yourself, myself right here, Choke No Joke. All right, and executive produced by me. Just give y'all a little sample. Make sure y'all go get that, all right? These are the platforms. I'm going to put all the platforms up in this thing in a minute. But Tubi, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, the Hip Hop Nucleus, man. Y'all make sure y'all check this out, all right?
Back then, at the time, it was so much music, dope music.
Yeah, when the Remy's in the system, ain't no telling, will I fuck him, will I kiss him?
Niggas is mad to get more butt than ashtrays.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up, shot.
Do you really want to party with me? Let me see this what you got for me.
Any premiere, god damn, when them tracks come on, whoo!
One of the dopest things about the tunnel for me to remember is hearing my records get played up in there. You know, that's a big deal. And seeing everybody go, oh!
The top, maybe, of all time tunnel banger.
The Benjamins by Diddy and the Family, that record rocked for 2 years straight.
The #1 banger in the tunnel was the Benjamin. That record reigned supreme for a long time. You know, Buster came with Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
Man, Buster used to have that shit lit in the tunnel.
Well, anything Bad Boy.
Every Biggie record.
That Biggie banged in the tunnel for Brooklyn every week.
Any Biggie.
Real Love Remix.
10 Crack Commandments was like danger in that bitch.
They put on Big, the tunnel would just almost flip upside down.
Where Brooklyn at? Biggie and Tupac?
Hypnotized.
So I'm in the tunnel, and Dreams is playing, and I'm standing next to Patra. Biggie goes, some for Patra. Patra's like this.
Big Papa. Craig Mack.
Black Rob.
Whoa.
Any shit by Hov.
Jay-Z joint, boom, boom, boom. That was kind of bananas in there.
Nigga what, nigga who?
At 2 a.m. up in the club.
Where I'm from, Marcy, son.
Anything Rockefeller, if it was Jay-Z or Beanie Siegel or Freeway Record.
It was another level when The Rock came on.
Memphis Bleak, Mind Right was big in the tunnel.
Nori Capone, that Bang Bang.
Little Kim was popping at that time.
No Time, Little Kim.
When Little Kim came out with the gangster rap, forget about the girls were throwing singles and moving like guys. I'm like, look at this shit.
Little Kim, Big Mama thing.
Master P, Bout It, used to tear the roof.
All the big timers joined.
Locks.
Anything locks.
Wild Out would actually start a fight.
Niggas done started something.
I know we motherfucking ripped the tunnel to shreds.
When Cream came on, that was a moneymaker song. There's so many damn songs.
That dog. DMX shit, it would just be like,
Get At Me Dog might be like #1, or at least gotta be like #2 when that.
Get At Me Dog. Boy, that was like tunnel, like, whoa.
M.O.P.
Number one tunnel bangers, Annie Up.
Yo, when MOP used to come on, even for me, I used to be like, yes.
Some of that boot camp clip.
Throw Your Guns in the Air. Onyx was, oh my God.
C Murder, down for my niggas.
One for All. That brand Nubian record.
The Rock Wild by Method Man. I used to love the way that sound.
Mobb Deep, Shook Ones. Ooh.
Shook Ones? Woohoo! You lose character up in there. That's when you might just get your shit snatched.
Shook Ones was bananas in there. Put a hood on and
Quiet Storm was #1 in here.
Nas, Hate Me Now.
Got Akinelli. Put it in your mouth.
Man, you know, a lot of the West Coast stuff was popping also. Snoop Dogg, that Gin and Juice record.
Hail Mary, you know, Dear Mama.
Pop That Coochie. That was the song in the tunnel.
The one I hated the most, but it was a good song in the tunnel, was the Water Dance. Flex used to always want to play that shit when we was picking the money up. And that shit used to have the crowd going bananas.
Kim, Let Me Know, Mace, Horse and Carriage, Bravehearts, Hoochie Wally.
And at any moment, you was like right there with your favorite rapper. So, you know, it's kind of like, what's up? Your song is nice. Yeah, let's dance to it. Up in the tunnel.
Choke, no joke. So y'all make sure y'all go get that. That's just one of the segments, you know what I mean, about the tunnel bangers, the best songs that rang in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Y'all go check that out. Support a brother, okay? Like no other from your other mother. So tonight, what I'm about to do is Professor X is still over there calling my name. You know, 1 minute he don't want to say my name, then the next minute he got nicknames, this, that, and the other. So I guess he wants some goddamn attention because he over here saying my name, you know. But this is gonna be fun because we get to see Professor X move around. Well, at least his head, you know, the head detective. You know, we get to see his head roll around. He even introduces his son to us. So now we get to see his son, you know, since he like talking about people, kids. Yeah, I know y'all heard him talk about R.J. Barnes kids, but that's another story. Maybe I'll get R.J. Barnes to come on. But Professor X, you know, the head detective, you know why I call him Professor X, because he mind screws people. And shout out to this girl, Kimmie Love. She interviewed him, you know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, let me text her so she can see this. So I don't want nobody thinking I'm talking bad about her. Shoot her text so she can see this. Yeah, so the interview that this girl Kimmie did with this crooked pig, she don't really know the backstory, as you could tell, when it comes to Reggie and Death Row and the Tupac and all that other stuff. You know, she's not knee deep in this research, in this investigative research. as if you know, like a Don Sikorsky or RJ Bond or you know, people that really get they foot in the mud deep with this, right? So she does this interview with him, right? And she opens the floor for questions, which was good, and then she asks people to send in questions. So I knew if I popped up on the screen, that dirty pig was going to get real defensive, and I wouldn't have been able to get my questions off because I know how Professor X play. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a mutant to him. Right. So what happens is I send in some questions and I sit back and I watch. So what I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna have a little watch party, right? Oh, I got a guest. I got a guest here, so they can watch it with me. So we're gonna have a little watch party here. I may even open up the panel and let y'all come on and talk, ask some questions, this, that, and other. But please feel free to heat up the chat, you know, because we are about to be highly entertained. Now, shout out to Kimmie Love, you know what I'm saying? This is the young lady that interviewed Reggie Wong Wunier, Professor X, aka the crooked dirty pig. She interviewed him, and I reached out to see if it was okay if I could air her interview, and she did give me permission. You know what I'm saying? I do have the receipts for that. Okay, so she gave me permission, and I'm using it under fair use as well. So we're gonna watch this and we're gonna commentate on it. I just had a guest pop in, so I guess you know they have a little, just a little bit of knowledge about Tupac and Biggie too, so they'll be able to chime in on some of this. But I think this is going to be a very interesting watch and read. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm gonna give y'all some shout outs later. Shout out to all my moderators in the building. Shout out to the membership gang, the Choke No Jokesters, all right, and all my people that subscribe. You know, hit that like button. But we're gonna get into this right now. Shout out to Kimmie Love. Maybe she even pop up in here, maybe. So let's get into this. Let me get my notes. Right. So, let me introduce my guest. Bam. There you go. My man, RJ Bond in the building. All right. How you doing, sir? I can't hear you.
Choke no joke, chicky choke no joke. Is that it?
Yes, it is.
You can hear me now.
There we go. There we go. All right. So let me get you up to speed real quick. There was a young lady that interviewed our arch nemesis, Professor X.
Oh, okay.
You know, he threw my name out there. I think he threw your name, or maybe I know he said some.
Dude, when you're out of ammunition, that's what you do. You know, when you're firing blanks, that's what you do. You know.
Yeah, so he clearly wants some attention, so he's about to get it. That's why he's saying our names. Because usually he got code names for us. So now he want to say our full name. Because he needs some ammunition.
People get confused. People get confused between Uncle Fester and Carpet Head. They get confused, I guess. They don't know who that is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, snitch joke and the nigga with the blank wall. He don't like my wall. You know what I'm saying? I think I got to get a couple of things in the background like you do.
You need a big gaudy chair behind you, you know, with some curtains or something like that. You know, gold chair or something.
Yeah, some fake death row plaques.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So this girl Kimmie Love, you know, she interviewed Reggie, and she's not very knowledgeable and on the case, everything. So you don't hold her feet to the fire.
Okay.
And then she doesn't know who Reggie is, and we know how charming he could be. Hey, y'all, all the Aquariuses, it's Aquarius month. I want to give a shout out to he good cop, bad cop, sir. A lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So please try not to throw up on the screen. We don't want to.
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll keep it down.
Nobody's dinner tonight, but it's going to be hard to stomach. But
I
he's
already-
a good cop, bad cop, and one person, and we're going to see this. So I'm
right.
going to get this thing started. I'm going to be skipping through because I cannot stomach this dude.
Yeah. He's best in
definitely-
short. He's best in short doses.
Yes, please. All right, here we go.
2. And then I left very professional.
Aw, you're the best. You're the best. So can you tell
Good man, can you get a filter to make you look more fat than that?
Yep. Well, I thank you for the exposure to your channel and to your
You're
audience.
like one of the chipmunks.
My
when
name
I'm
is Reggie Wright. I'm on Bomb First daily. The reason why I'm on YouTube, I guess, and speaking a little bit is because I was the head of security for Death Row Records from '94 until '97, until shit went to prison. And
Hold on, RJ. That's the first heap of crock right there. Death Row Records did not have a security company. He was the head of security for Right Way Security. That's just
should
one
give
thing.
him $250,000. I bet he wanted that money back.
Right. Hold on.
$250,000 to start Right Way Security.
Right.
Yeah.
So you keep saying he the head of Death Row Security. That's why people be saying the dirty cops from Death Row. No, the dirty cops from Right Way.
then he entrusted me with his company to deal with the day-to-day operations from '97 until about 2002. And then I left and went and did some work with a company called American Music and to Koch and E1 Entertainment all the way up until about 2018. And then since then, I've been on YouTube.
All right, RJ. Hold on. I got to bring you in right now. Hold on. Did we skip the drug dealing?
Yeah, no, we ain't got to that part of the resume yet. We're on all his failed businesses right now. I know what the people at American Music Corporation have to say about him, and I know what the people at Death Row. You tell me, Choke. Somebody hands you the keys to a multi-million-dollar company, and the first thing that happens is Interscope says, "You're taking over. See ya," and they're gone, just like that. Okay, how do you drive something into the ground that 7 years later, when you have all that momentum and all those albums and all those artists, and by 2004 you're barely making $250,000 a year as a company? I mean, really?
He act like he was so successful.
Yeah, there you go. You put out the Relatives album at American Music Corporation, and yeah, okay, and then
Who are they?
The Relatives, yeah, like some offshoot of Snoop's relatives or cousins or somebody like that. And Snoop Dogg Presents the Relatives was the album, and I hear there's some question as to whether or not the deal with Snoop was actually legitimate on that album for him to sign off on that. That's what I hear, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on.
We'll say allegedly.
Nobody ain't ever heard of the Relatives.
Yeah.
Or know a song or hip hop knows them for a hit record.
Conducting interviews from about 2017 until currently, and just trying to tell my stories.
1,723 videos this man has put out. I don't know that there's that much air on the planet.
Wait, he got the drug dealing part.
Yeah, no, missed that part. and the prison time. Missed that part too.
Right. Yeah, I was
right over there. See if I'm doing interviews.
That out.
Yeah.
See, this is why I tell you, she don't know nothing about Reggie. It's all cool. But we gonna fix it up for her.
You're gonna learn.
Period. Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, True Embrace. Thank you. We want to drop Reggie's
Yeah,
it's not worth it. It's gonna cost you money.
exactly.
To get it together, for the people to understand, it's gonna cost to more money to
To sue 'em.
ass. Yeah.
Exactly. You be like Tasha K with my girl with Cardi B. You know how she going after her, or is it Mickey? Went on. I think it's Cardi that's suing her, and they know they'll never get any money from Pac, DMX, and then I love E40. So those my top five. But I know your question was,
you repping your place. Okay. I got
but I threw
What's
X
the
in
top
there.
rapper they listen to in the
and no
prison?
football programs and stuff like that. I'm glad Snoop Dogg picked up the baton and ran and did it, but I wish he would give Pac the credit for that. But if you listen to anything on Pac in the 1990s.
Wait. You got to hear this question. She asked him, what was your relationship with Tupac? This thing, wait.
We were putting up money, Suge was putting up money to oppose the 3 strike laws, and he brought out all his artists. From Cardi B, you know how she going after her.
How do you feel that the world thinks that you had something, just listening to people, they think that you had played a part in death of Tupac?
Do they?
Look, she was scared to ask the question. No, we love you, Kimmie, love. It's okay. Nigga, did you have something to do with the death of Tupac?
More money to
sue him.
ass. Yeah.
Exactly. You be like Tasha K with my girl with Cardi B. You know how she going after her, or is it Mickey? Went on. I think it's Cardi that's suing her, and they know they'll never get any money from her. But so.
That's true. Yeah. So, I got to get to the tough one. Just one tough one.
Which reminds me.
Okay. You can ask me. I'm an open book. I tell you, you can ask me any questions.
Okay. How do you feel that the world thinks that? How do you feel that the world thinks that you had something? Just listening to people, they think that you had played a part in the death of Tupac.
Do they? I think the world, or is it about 5% idiots? That's how I look at it. If you look at it and you break it down, anybody from LA, they know the real. They know what happened. That was some game banging activities. Now, was I neglect maybe for being responsible for the security and maybe some things that, I didn't treat him like we treat Michael Jackson and all of that? But that's because y'all in 2024 want to treat Tupac like Michael Jackson. In 1996, he was just a regular artist. He was just like LL Cool J or Busta Rhymes or who else? Shit.
Hold on. The question was, how do you feel about people feeling you had something to do with the death of Tupac? I just want y'all to remember so y'all don't get every time. Let me tell y'all something. Every time Reggie lies, he looks off to his left. You see, every time he lies, y'all remember that face right there. Every time he lies, he looks off to the left. And I promise you, every time he lies, he looks off to the left. Watch this.
Choke, I got a question.
Yes.
So his answer to how do you feel about everybody is to say that in 1996, Tupac was a nobody? That's his answer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think the majority would tend to disagree with that assessment that Tupac wasn't anybody until 2024. Tupac was the hottest name on the planet at that point.
He had the #1 album when he was in jail and came out and did it again with All Eyes on Me.
But he has to minimize. He has to trivialize him.
Right.
He has to make him subordinate.
Right, to make it look like it wasn't that important to be fucking doing security for him. When he's the most sought after, him and Biggie, the whole East Coast and West Coast. He's on the fucking West, he's on the East, and now he's nobody. He was just LL Cool J.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he was. That's all he
Wow.
was.
Yeah, okay, Reggie. Deflate, like I told you, this girl, she don't know enough. She don't know him like we know
Right.
him. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta you can't hold her feet to the fire.
So you have the leak down. You have the leak down where he looks to the left.
Every time he lies, that's where he looks. He can't look in the camera. I'm gonna show you every time. Watch.
Is that because he's checking his handler to find out if they're, if he told the right answer?
It could be if his handler's his wife, because she's sitting over there.
Well, somebody's got to mop up the drool.
Right. Hold on.
Shit. What's that boy that just died? Coolio, the one that beat him out. They were the ones that just they were the artists like that. Lauryn Hill and the Fugees and all of them. Those, so we build people up to make them like.
Hold on, y'all want to agree that Coolio was bigger than goddamn motherfucking Tupac at that time, y'all? At Tupac death, Coolio was bigger than Tupac. This nigga right here is crazy, bro. Pardon the N-word, y'all.
Elvis and Bob Marley and all that, and deservedly so. Well, I'm just trying to say, he wasn't Michael Jackson in 1996.
You don't think that Tupac was the Michael Jackson of rap back then?
Not in 1996. If that's so, why did Coolio beat him for best album of the year? Why did Biggie Small get to open up the Soul Train award show and not Tupac?
Right.
There's so many examples, but it's hard to bring out and point out to those examples because you have so many Tupac fans and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And so I just sit back and be like, yep, he's Elvis. He's a modern day, he's our Black Elvis or whoever, which the things.
Y'all don't get it twisted out there. He hate Tupac. Do not get it twisted. He loved Tupac as much as he loved Big.
That he has done and his legacy has did over the last 30 years, I will give him that. We're talking about 1996.
Okay.
It wasn't people up there at the prison standing boycotting. Why we do him like that and all of that? It was just him and his entourage that was at the court building standing up.
What type of person was he?
I'm sorry, man.
What type of person was Tupac?
Wait till you hear this answer. What kind of, y'all remember your question? What kind of person was Tupac? Now look how he look off to the side. Every time, here he come. Watch this bullshit.
Tupac was like he comes across. He was wild, very smart, very smart. He has women loved him. He had a charm about himself. He knew how to talk to people. He knew how to bring out points. He had the political side, the Black Panther training in him. I'll tell y'all a story of when we was at the Brotherhood Crusade, and they were doing the thing for the 3 strike laws. And
yo, RJ, what was the question again?
Yeah, what do you think about Tupac as a person? Yeah.
Hey, yo, hold on. You ain't got no personal stories? Okay, Reggie.
Yeah.
And now we were putting up money. Suge was putting up money to oppose the 3 strike laws, and he brought out all his artists from from Snoop to Pac and all of them. And so after we left the Brotherhood Crusade, the meeting, the press conference, they went in the back room and they had about 10 or 15 reputable gang members from LA.
Where are your pictures with Tupac? Where are all your pictures with you and him with the arms around each other? Where were you at his house when he was having his birthday celebration with his mom and the Outlaws and everybody else? Where were you? You were such good friends. Show me, like you always say, show me 3 pictures of you and Tupac together. You know what you are? You're always at the back, like a peeping Tom. You're always at the back
with the pooper scooper.
Yeah, yeah.
Picking up shit.
3 pictures. That's all we want. 3 pictures. You and Tupac. I'll settle for two pictures. One gonna be photoshopped. No.
And he was talking to him, and people were saying, well, y'all need to do this and donate money and do this to this person and do this and do that. And Tupac was like, hey. You know, we ain't that rich. We ain't got money like that. That's the government's job. But what we can do is we can go when we do a concert.
We ain't got
go
money
out
because
and
you ain't
do
paying
stuff
them
in the
anything.
neighborhood, the days and
ain't got no
leading
money.
up to the concert and stuff like that.
Y'all
and we do
keeping it.
this and we do that into that particular community that we in at that time.
Right.
Who does that now?
What
You
community
go and
was
watch
that?
All-Star,
Drug dealing
the
community?
NBA
What
All-Star
community are you
Weekend,
in?
or the NFL, win the Super Bowl. They go out into the community of that week and donate money to all the different organizations, the local organizations in that community. They go out and build things like playgrounds and stuff like that in that community where they go in and performing at the show.
How much money did he donate to any of them? How much money did he personally donate to any one of those charities? Okay?
Yeah,
seriously.
He's spinning her. She done forgot the question.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's off on another planet talking about shit at this point, talking about charities and talking about stuff. He just rambling.
Like
Wow.
nigga, she asked you, how was Tupac as a person?
As a person, and he's talking
You
about.
would have asked Suge that. He would have had some personal stories. You would have asked Daz that. He would have had some personal stories. This thing
Yeah,
is
y'all
up here
look like you
talking-
took out a copy of Vibe magazine and was reading an article about him. Wow.
all the stuff he talking about, people that was born after he was dead, no. Like that shit from magazines and interviews and shit like that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should say, yo, Tupac ain't fuck with the police. I don't know.
Well, he didn't. He shot police.
Right. Exactly.
He didn't have a high
Tupac was talking that in 1995, 1996. So I just asked the question when you're saying what type of person he was. That's what I remember about Tupac and the way he was thinking and how things that he said or preached or was talking about in 95, 96, he's doing or we doing now in 2024. Another perfect example, and I'm not taking away from what Snoop Dogg did with the football league.
Draw me a chart at this point, Joe? Can you draw me a chart to try so I can understand where that just went? I need to see it on like a graph where you graph out what his answer was so that I can actually make sense of it. You need a chart. God. He lost me about his first.
Actually, I was Tupac as a person. How you get on Snoop now? Like, yo, he was spinning her like crazy, bro.
Love what Snoop doing with that show. I hate that. I'm disappointed that he let those kids do all that cussing in there. But other than that, loved it. But what I'm trying to say is that was Pac's idea to do no football leagues and no football programs and stuff like that. I'm glad Snoop Dogg picked up the baton and ran and did it.
You let him get
But I
killed.
wish
Too bad your security sucked. Yeah, he wanted to do all those things. And you just blow it off. This clown just blows it off like, well, I was a little negligent. Maybe I could have done a few things wrong, right? I mean, I could have done things different. And, and it's like, and now he want to talk about all the things Tupac could have done? Really?
Yeah, like, nigga, you the one reason why he dead. Like, you crazy?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that amazes me about this cat is that you never see an ounce. All you see is the blame game, point fingers at everybody else, making excuses after the fact, and then turn around and say, "Oh, well, gosh, I messed up." And and it's like, no, if anybody for a minute ever saw a hint of remorse or regret or anything like that at all, no, he's too busy hating on everybody and too busy trying to keep up the excuses and keep up the finger pointing. Bottom line, that's it. I mean, so he can talk about all the things Tupac could have been. Too bad you didn't think about that when you were signing security to him. That's what I gotta say.
When he should have been signing security to him.
Yeah, you think about all those things that Tupac could have been before. Did I say Tupac? I mean Tupac. Sorry, boy, that was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Let's say that. You know, when you're in charge, you're supposed to be, what did he say, head of security for death row. If that's going to be your job, and that's your guy, and Tupac was that guy, and you're saying all these things that Tupac could have been, too bad you weren't thinking that before you didn't give them no radios, and before you told them they couldn't have no guns, and and all the other bullshit that happened that night. That's too bad, because you're right. Tupac could have been a lot of things, but when he ran into guys like you, is number one up.
Right. And she gonna get to those things too. She did talk about those things. Wait till you get to see what he say. Hold on.
All right.
He will give Pac the credit for that. But if you listen to anything on Pac in the 1996, he was talking about doing programs like that.
What's their relationship now with Snoop?
Snoop is my favorite artist over Tupac. Because that's the music that
What's
I
your relationship
grew
with
up.
Snoop?
Oh, I just
see that
I
question
just put
coming,
his,
did he?
I just put his wife on blast with her side nigga. And that, what do you mean? What is your relationship with Snoop? I'm attacking him right now on Suge Knight's fake Twitter page.
He's extorting him on YouTube videos.
Right.
Pay me or I'll put your pictures up. Wait, what's your relationship with Snoop? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo,
Nice.
Play
that again. Play that again. Roll that back and play that again. Play that response again when she said, "What's your relationship with Snoop?"
1996. So I just asked the question when you're saying what type of person he was. That's what I remember about Tupac and the way he was thinking and how things that he said or preached or was talking about in 95, 96, he's doing or we doing now in 2024. Another perfect example, and I'm not taking away from what Snoop Dogg did with the football league and all of that. Love what Snoop doing with that show. I hate that. I'm disappointed that he let those kids do all that cussing in there. But other than that,
how was Tupac as a person? Oh, let me tell you about this time that he was at a rally.
Yeah, right. No, I'm waiting for that.
But what I'm trying to say is that was Pac's idea to do those football leagues and those football programs and stuff like that. I'm glad Snoop Dogg picked up the baton and ran and did it, but I wish he would give Pac the credit for that. But if you listen to anything on Pac in the 1996, he was talking about doing programs like that.
What's their relationship now with Snoop?
Snoop?
You can't make shit up like that.
You got him good, Kimmie.
Man, that should be a meme. What's your relationship with Snoop?
He caught COVID.
Yeah. Got it all over again. Oh, he'll make up some excuse like, that's a remnant from his COVID or something like that. Shit.
I'm disappointed that he let those kids do all that cussing in there. But other than that, loved it. But what I'm trying to say is that was Pac's idea to do those football leagues and those football programs and stuff like that. I'm glad Snoop Dogg picked up the baton and ran and did it, but I wish he would give Pac the credit for that. But if you listen to anything on Pac in the 1996, he was talking about doing programs like that.
What's their relationship now with Snoop?
Snoop is my favorite artist over Tupac because that's the music that I grew up and came up with Death Row under. All Eyes on Me is my favorite album, but Tupac, as far as his body of work, Snoop Dogg is there.
You saying Snoop over Jay-Z too?
Oh yeah, I'm never been. I'm not an East Coast dude, so I'm not gonna ever say nothing bad about a West Coast artist. My top five, the only one I get from the East Coast is DMX. I'm just that's just me.
Okay.
But my top five is Q, Snoop, Pac, DMX, and then I love E40. So
Okay.
those my five, my top five. But
Okay,
I know
you
your
repping your
question
place.
was,
You repping your place. Okay, I got
you know, but I threw X in there. I threw X in there.
Yeah, I know.
But and I love Ghetto Boys as a group. Ghetto Boys is my favorite over Dog Pound as a group. I forgot the question. My wife is over there telling me what was the question, but I forgot.
You know what? I was
My
asking.
relationship with Snoop is, and I'll
Okay,
go
he
to it.
was checking
I
with
don't
his
have
wife
one
that
with
was
him.
over there. He just said that his wife was over off camera. He checks with his wife every time he gives an answer because his
Yeah, I
wife's
see
standing
him.
right there.
She's
You,
saying
I
that
thought you were
focus.
joking. I thought you were kidding at first.
No,
when you
no,
said
I was
maybe
dead
it's
ass
his wife
serious.
over there. I
Yeah,
thought you were
'cause
making a joke, but no joke. No joke.
no, sir. All right, let me keep going.
Currently, we have we know each other. He listens to my my podcast and my on Bomb First. But I'm a Suge Knight defender, even though I get mad and disappointed in Suge and some things that he do and say.
Hey, yo, RJ, you gotta take it off mute.
You know, I got another one. You know, okay, you nothing but respect for Suge. Is that before or after you took all the properties?
Hey, yeah, hold on. That nigga said me and Snoop is cool. You know, he watched my podcast. You up there posting pictures of his wife who ain't
Yeah.
got nothing to do with nothing.
Right, and threatening to put more up too.
Right.
The
And
extortion
then you
routine.
turn around and say, you a big Suge Knight defender? You've been dragging Suge for the last 3 years. Yo, you said he killed Biggie with
Yeah,
Poochie.
with
And now
Poochie.
you
Russ
just
Poole was right. That's a video that'll go down in infamy. Russ Poole was right. Russ Poole was right. Suge killed him. Yeah, he did. They shout out, as Kimmie would say, shout out to Vlad TV on that one.
Right.
Can't take that shit down. Of course, that'll be a video that'll come down at some point.
That's how I am. So somebody got a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Now he's a Suge Knight defender. Let's start there.
Yeah, that's right.
I still defend Suge to the T. And I was around when Snoop and the things and the stress that Suge went through to help save Snoop from prison.
Let
I
me
don't
quote.
feel
Let me quote something for a minute. I got your house. I got your family. I got where your kids live, where little Suge lived. I got your house. Everything. Reggie's name. Okay. Oh yeah, you're a big defender, all right, dude. I could tell that was a video. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, you call me security, but I got everything. Yeah, that's a defender all day long, man. With friends like that, who needs freaking enemies?
You're right. This dude right here is a trip, bro.
I got your house. Little Suge live. I got everything. Everything Reggie's name. Everything. And you notice he gets all squinty-eyed when he does that too. He has two expressions. Dopey-eyed like this, and then squinty-eyed. When he gets like, he goes, when he's your boy homie Reggie, he's like this, and then he gets all squinty-eyed when he wants to make threats. He goes, yeah, your kids run around on IHSS and everything in Reggie's name. Reggie's name. And he gets that squinty ass look on his face, like he just ate some prunes or something, But there's definitely two expressions when you see. See, you don't see that side of him right now because he ain't threatening anybody. But when he wanted to threaten somebody,
oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, is it okay? Good, because that's when you're going to see. Mark my words, because I ain't seen this video. You're going to see them slitty eyes. You're going to be like Chinese eyes come out.
It's
Chinese
definitely coming.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see it.
Snoop did the same thing to help Suge when he was facing a prison sentence, as far as the financing and the backing.
Yeah, and
So
took his company, right?
He do and say, I still defend Suge to the T. And
everything in Reggie's
I was
name.
around when Snoop and the things and the stress that Suge went through to help save Snoop from prison. I don't feel Snoop did the same thing to help Suge when he was facing a prison sentence, as far as the financing and the backing.
Yeah, and took
So
his
that,
company, right? And
well, that ain't his fault. That ain't his fault, of the company and all of that.
So Snoop
I
was
prefer
supposed to
Snoop to
finance
have the
Suge's
company
defense?
if he owns it. I'm not.
I'm confused. I lost. Take off your mute. I missed something there. Snoop was supposed to somehow pay for Suge's defense.
Right. That, and they don't even mess with each other after all the threats and all the stuff they went through. And I'm telling you, she don't mind her. She don't know.
No, she just listening. She's just listening. That's
yeah.
okay.
But he what, like, why would Snoop be paying for at that time, paying for anything for Suge?
Yeah,
That
because
makes
Snoop
no
was. I
sense.
mean, that was right after. That was within months after Tupac got shot, and Suge was already there. I want to know who dropped a dime to his parole officer and told him that he was out of the country to violate his probation. That's what I wanted. I wanted who that was. Was that Snoop?
Professor X?
Yeah, was that Snoop that did that?
No, that was Professor X who did that.
Yeah, had to have been somebody who knew where he was.
Him and Kenner.
Wow. All right, roll it.
One that gonna say he owns it. I think he's a front man, but if he is the outright owner of it, I ain't got no problem with that. I'd rather him than somebody else having it, to be honest. Yeah, but most people don't know everything is over there. That's pretty much left with any value is Snoop stuff. Pac and the estate, the Tupac estate has all the Tupac stuff, and Dre has the Chronic.
No, they do not. They do not. They sued Death Row 3 different times over getting master tapes that they weren't given. They kept playing games with them and holding master tapes away from them. They found master tapes out in Detroit. They had a deal. Death Row had a deal to put out one Tupac album that had 9 tracks on it. And that Tupac album, what they had their pick of 9 different Tupac tracks to put out their own unique Tupac album. Not only did they never do it, but it became the subject of litigation twice before the bankruptcy and then during the bankruptcy and shortly after the bankruptcy. They kept saying, I mean, that bankruptcy was like in what, 2006, 2007? 10 years go by and the estate still, where the fuck is our tapes? Where's our tapes? They don't,
they leaking them out. We see
the
leaks.
they were all John Baum first had them all leaked out by the time that that happened. And I got the receipts on that too. Yeah, There's no death. There's nothing in Death Row because you leaked it all out.
Right.
That's why. Yeah.
So only thing left is Dog Pound and Snoop stuff.
Okay, so I know that you watch Collect Cars with Suge Knight.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear?
We about missing one. We about one about due. I hope one come out today so I can have some content for next week.
I've been looking.
Yeah, he's about due.
Yeah, because he got nothing.
Yeah, he insinuated some things on there about Snoop.
Yeah, that's Suge being a little bitter. I'm not one to say Snoop had anything to do with the death of Tupac. I am not a conspirator. People that says that, believe that, in my mind, are conspirators. That's like the people that say Tupac is alive. I think it's very disrespectful and all of that. Tupac Shakur died for some gang banging activity that unfortunately went down inside the MGM that led on to the strips of Las Vegas. You're not gonna get anything else out of me. That's what I believe. I would bet the rest of the limbs that work on my body that's what happened.
Well, so you don't think? I mean, so which was it? Was it
that ain't much of a bet,
or was it retaliation?
That's the question that I sent in right there. Since he keeps saying that he told Greg Caden that Biggie got killed because it was retaliation from Southside for not getting their money on the hit for Tupac, right? So he just said just now, Tupac died for some gang banging for messing with some joints. So now she asked the question that I submitted, right?
Okay.
Did he die from a hit or did he die from retaliation for jumping on the wrong motherfucker? Watch this.
That's pretty much left with any value is Snoop stuff. Pac and the estate, the Tupac estate has all the Tupac stuff, and Dre has the Chronic. So only thing left is Dog Pound and Snoop stuff.
Okay, so I know that you watch Collect Cars with Suge Knight.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear
We about
something?
missing one. We about one about due. I hope one come out today so I can have some content for next week.
I've been looking.
Yeah, he's about due.
Yeah, he insinuated some things on there about Snoop.
Yeah, that's Suge being a little bitter. I'm not one to say Snoop had anything to do with the death of Tupac. I am not a conspirator. People that says that, believe that, in my mind, are conspirators. That's like the people that say Tupac is alive. I think it's very disrespectful and all of that. Tupac Shakur died for some gang banging activity that unfortunately went down inside the MGM that led on to the strips of Las Vegas.
That all
You're not
could
gonna
have
get
been
anything else out
avoided.
of me. That's what I believe.
That
I will
all could
go.
have been avoided. That all could have been avoided. Leave that part in.
Would bet the rest of the limbs that work on my body that's what happened.
What? Oh, so you don't think? I mean, so which was it? Was it a hit or was it retaliation?
Retaliation for them assaulting. That's why I call it game.
Remember what I told you about his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
Banging activity that unfortunately went down inside the MGM that led on to the strips of Las Vegas. You're not gonna get anything else out of me. That's what I believe. I would bet
lie
the rest of the limbs that work on my body that's what happened.
What? Oh, so
Do
you
you
don't think? I
understand
mean,
do you
which
understand what a
was it?
silly statement that is? I bet the rest of the limbs on my body. I know he's trying to be funny and cute, but that's like a 95-year-old man saying I'm willing to take a life sentence. Okay.
Right.
That ain't much of a bet. That's like betting with your last dollar. When he say whatever he got left at functions, he's willing to bet. I know he's trying to be cute, maybe play the sympathy card a little bit, but man, I would be betting a little bit more than that if I was that serious about what I had to say. Then you know whatever you got functioning left, man.
Right. Now listen to his response.
Was it a hit or was it retaliation?
Retaliation for them assaulting. That's why I call it game banging activities. I don't say black on black crime or anything like that. That's what game bangers do. You hurt one of ours, we go and try to hurt one of y'all's. Or you.
Ugh. Was it? I mean, so he basically it was retaliation. So, oh my goodness. So was it the fight that got him killed?
It was a fight. It was a fight. It was a fight. And more importantly, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Okay. It was all right. Sorry about that. My apologies. But it was the assault that happened that made them have the courage or the anger to do it that particular night. But I also believe that they also knew it was a bounty that was put out there by y'all dancing friend, Mr. P. Diddy.
Naming names now. Now, wasn't this the guy who got all up in arms about people saying where he said how mad he was about everybody saying that he had something to do with the Tupac case or saying stuff about him and how up in arms he was about that and how wrong he thought that was? And yeah, it's okay for him to point the finger at somebody else.
Right.
But, and that's going to be true, right? But all this other crap, not true. Yeah, okay. Man, that ain't hypocrisy. I don't know what is.
Oh, exactly. Now, so is it? Did he got retaliate? Is it retaliation for the Orlando Anderson incident, or was it the hit from Puffy? How is it both, Reggie? How is it both? How are you saying it right now? He's saying it's both. Watch.
Oh yeah, because you walked back the other one and added the other.
Exactly.
It was the assault that happened that made them have the courage or the anger to do it that particular night. But I also believe that they also knew it was a bounty that was put out there by y'all dancing friend, Mr. P. Diddy. I'm sure he, that threw him out there and that made him be like, okay, we can get some money and we go do that. That made him like a little bit extra incentive.
Oh.
That's what made you allegedly do it, motherfucker. You allegedly conspired with him to do it, allegedly. Because the extra incentive, the money. Not to mention Tupac fired your ass and Suge just got hit that y'all was stealing money. Now, that was the incentive.
And more importantly, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Okay. It was all right. Sorry about that. My apologies. But it was the assault that happened that made them have the courage or the anger to do it that particular night. But I also believe that they also knew it was a bounty that was put out there by y'all dancing friend, Mr. P. Diddy. I'm sure he, that threw him out there and that made him be like, okay, we can get some money and we go do that. That made him like a little bit extra incentive to do what they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into Diddy. How do you knew all along, because I was watching you knew all along, and you've been telling people for years that Diddy was a Fruit Loop.
Real quick, RJ, let me ask you, how far-fetched is it that Keefe D could have went to Reggie and been like, yo, allegedly Puff offered us some money for Suge and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? $1 million, this, that, and the other. Went to, probably told Reggie that because we know him and Reggie have a relationship. And that whole Tupac shit got set up. This is why Orlando's standing there waiting, this, that, and the other. How far-fetched is that?
I think it ranks up there. I mean, it has just as much, I would say, proof behind it as anything else. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, when you don't have hard evidence on everything and everything is speculation, everything is story, then if you don't have any hard evidence, then anything could be just as equally possible as the other. I mean, again, we all know those cats all knew each other. We know Reggie knew Keefe D. We know that, okay? We also know that Russ Poole questioned Keefe D. LAPD questioned Keefe D. I got the records on that. They questioned everybody about this, okay? So to say that these guys didn't know each other, never talked to each other, never had anything to do with each other, and it's some kind of surprise that this all happened. No, I think what you're saying there, I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's got some merit to it. I don't see why not.
I mean, Reggie's
How could
wife
you say
is
why not?
Keefe
I haven't
D's
seen it.
Reggie's wife is Keefe D's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
So we know they grew up and know each other.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So I believe that Keefe D may have dropped the bug to Reggie and been like, yo, them niggas offered us $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, what? And knowing that Pac just fired him, and
well, listen, here's your cross evidence chain. You just said that Keefe D might have said something. Well, you know that Reggie said something to Greg Kading. Greg Kading wrote about it in his book. Reggie said a whole lot of things to Greg Kading about a whole lot of things. Okay. And
he admits it in here. He admits that he was the suspect in the Biggie murder.
Of course he was. Of course he was. I'm not sure in some people's minds he's still not. But when you talk about he talked to Greg Kading, told Greg Kading all about P. Diddy, and told him that's Reggie that did that. Then you got Keefe D. According to the task force members that work with Greg Kading, they interviewed Keefe D 12 to 15 times. And you know you ain't talking about Tupac murder if you got to go over it 12 to 15 times on a case that's called Jerry Hawkins. Okay, you don't do that. Well, you're going to interview Keefe D 12 to 15 times. You better know he's giving up some other information. So you got Keefe D talking to Greg Kading. You got Reggie Wright talking to Greg Kading. Why wouldn't they complete that triangle? You got them both talking over here. Why wouldn't they talk to each other?
Right. That's what I believe happened now, because it makes sense to why Orlando is standing there. Where's Keefe D at that moment? Where's Reggie at that moment? Right? Where the fuck is Keefe D and Reggie at that moment?
Well, they're both on equal ground. They're both on equal ground because they're both snitching to Greg Kading.
Okay, let's get back to this.
But he did it all for Tupac. Just remember that.
Right.
You being in his presence, did he have that air of freakness? You know how you can look at a motherfucker and be like, that nigga a freak ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Did he come off like that?
He came off as suave and a dancer and all of that. But people on the East Coast, see, who's that? McTears, they gangsters don't dance, they boogie.
Yeah,
So, but y'all do that on the East Coast. Y'all be in the club. We go to the club on the East Coast. Those niggas be out there sweating. Y'all be dancing. You come we two-step. We two-step. We don't do all of that dancing like that. So that ain't why I would say that. It's just that, we have relationships with people. Suge had a great relationship with his baby mama Misa. Tupac had a great relationship with with females that he had dealt with. And so that's why we just have been hearing the rumors, and you put two and two together. When you hear people escorts and all of that, and people talk, the strippers and all of that, they all in the same.
Talk about freaky stuff, because the West Coast that's the den of sin. People, you'll be able to just see some shit. People walking down the street doing, that's the den of sin. So it ain't all that nigga right there is a rarity. And that's learned behavior.
Exactly. So, hey, just like I've been telling you about Will and his boy. Will and
Leo, that's how I knew it.
I've been telling you about him and Dwayne Wayne.
This person and that person was sleeping with that person. I mean, it's crazy.
And that's usually on the male side and the
female
side
too.
Well, the
females
he knows
with
an
awful lot about all this,
but
homo stuff. You know that, right? He knows an awful lot about this. He's like an expert witness. I'm surprised they didn't call him about that. He knows about this guy's homo affair. He knows about this guy's homo affair. He knows about this guy's homo affair. Is he like, you got to get your ear pretty close to the ground to hear the train. You put your head on the rail to hear that train coming.
Yeah, that nigga had his ear in there, some buttholes. That's what it was, goddammit. Or he allegedly got his booty tapped. Somebody done allegedly hit him up. So he know it when he see it, goddammit. But look, here goes his son rolling him out.
It amazes me that they're going to spend this much time talking about a bunch of stuff that don't matter.
Right. He don't talk about his life at all. All he keep doing is talk about a bunch of people he never been around, hung around, the Will Smiths, the Mary J. Bliges, all these people ain't hang with him. They don't know him.
Well, Frank used to call him Rona Barrett because he's just a gossip. That's all this is. This is all gossip.
Right.
And, and maybe there's some fools that like that kind of stuff. It's just like when we have so many more important things that matters to talk about in life, he want to talk about who's homo with who. And by the way, this isn't the first time there's probably 10 videos of him doing that, talking about that.
Yeah, hell yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he love that shit.
Yeah, he does.
No pun intended. All right, here goes his son. He's little Reggie Jr., the third.
Females with the powerful, you can push you know, as powerful as the people were, you know. They wasn't just sleeping with anybody. It wasn't like they were sleeping with security and stuff like that, you know. There was other artists and producers and stuff like that. All right, babe, see you later. Okay. So yeah.
You on your way to your
My little poker game, but
yeah.
I'm
I
with
didn't
you. I'm
realize
with
this
you as
was an
long as you need
action
me.
movie.
Oh yeah, it is. Look, his wife ain't even give him a kiss goodbye.
No, I didn't realize this was an action movie. He's actually moving, which
Hey,
is one up
Professor
on Tom
X.
First.
Hey,
One up on Tom
yo,
First.
hold on. Nigga, you always calling me broke. Nigga, you ain't even got an electric wheelchair, you broke motherfucker. Motherfucker gotta push your broke ass around. You broke mother effer. You gotta push you, nigga. You ain't even got the electric shit. Bum ass motherfucker talking shit about me. You bum ass. You don't like my white wall, nigga. Well, get you. My chair right here is better than yours, nigga. I got wheels. I can roll. Your shit ain't even, you ain't even got electric shit. You bum ass nigga. What you doing with all those cash apps? Got some nerve.
Okay.
Well, y'all just might have to deal with a little bit of. My son is me and my son about to go hang out with some friends.
Okay.
And it's raining out here in sunny California, so y'all might see a little bit of rain on my screen for a minute. But
that's okay. I'm glad
Okay.
that you're, spending this time with us over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Jaguar.
Nigga, get up and walk to the car, nigga. Get up and walk, goddamn it. He got to push you to the car?
Right. She did a lot of things over here in this sector. She burned a lot of bridges.
Yeah. Yeah, Jag, Mr. Jag.
Have you ever
yeah,
met
that part.
her or seen her?
I never met her. I didn't know who. I'll be honest. I didn't know who she was until she or even
Look at little Reg. What that little Reg?
Okay, remember,
research anything.
we're
I
not
just
gonna talk about kids. We're not gonna go on to kids. No kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a grown ass man.
learned about her spraying her son ashes on her face and you
So
know.
he ain't at the house on Garrettson no more. He ain't at that big multi-million-dollar house in Garrettson now. He's in a 2-story townhouse. He ain't on the house in Garrettson no more.
Oh, yeah, we used to be in the backyard, right?
Yeah, he ain't in that house no more. That's a 2-story house right there. That may not be his house, but that's where he just had his son push him out of. Yeah. I mean that ain't the big house. That ain't the big single-story house. Wonder what happened to
I
that.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about the lady.
That's his new house right there.
So it's kind of hard for me to speak.
Say can't even afford
I
it.
just bet she alleged that she slept with would even sleep with somebody that looked like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get Elon Musk to send you a chair, Professor X.
Because
son
she
trying to kill me, y'all.
definitely felt like she knew you
But anyway.
well enough to do some speaking on you. She definitely felt like
Yeah. Well, it's obvious that she was just trying to click. She told a bold-faced lie right there. She said, "Keep."
Yo, shout out to your son. He a good kid to be pushing your mean ass around.
He is. I mean, he is. He's trying so hard. You can tell he's trying to wrestle
he's
with
struggling.
get him in the car, trying to do something like that. Meanwhile, this dude can't shut up and help himself.
Right, like get up, nigga, and walk in there. You like help, do something.
No. I'm. This is important. She paid me to talk, so I gotta keep talking for the dollar.
Right. Poor brother.
DVD was out of jail. We know that boy still sitting in the county jail in Clark County. She's in Las Vegas County. That's Clark County. Where she get that?
facts. I don't get
Okay, I'm
it.
sorry.
She's
My
getting
son
that.
acting weird because of the rain. I'm driving him crazy.
It's cool.
Okay.
Hey, son.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
That's Trey. That's the right to third. That's why I had to get out here on the YouTube and clear stuff up and try to.
Oh, you're gonna love this part right here, RJ. Everybody why we all wait, you know what, RJ? I'm gonna give you the floor. Why did Reggie come to YouTube?
Because he's broke. Because he's
Outside
broke.
outside of that, why did Reggie come
outside
to
of the
YouTube?
fact that he's broke? Because he you know, again, it's because he wants to get out there and wants to try to clear his name. He wants to try to tell a bunch of stories and
Say
blame
no
other
more.
people.
You answered it. Watch what he say. Watch this. This is so telling. Watch this.
Keep his name safe, right?
So do you still talk to are you still in contact with Michelle A?
Uh-oh.
Did you hear me?
No.
Oh, you're
No,
not?
you said Michelle A. No, not currently with Michelle A. When I do my Jaguar right on her, she does reach out and be like, Red, what? Why are you doing me like this? You're supposed to help a sister. Why you pulling a sister down? And I'd be like, you know what? You're
Feel
right.
bad.
Yeah, they know how to guilt me. They know how to get me, boy. I'll be like, hey, can I pull that back? And on YouTube, you can't pull it back.
Is
Once
it
you
true
say
that
it,
she was gone on pills and all of that shit?
You did.
she
What are you
had a
talking
lot of
about? You can't pull
addiction.
it back once you said it.
Oh,
Didn't
let me
you
know.
pull your Snoop video back down after you threatened him?
Yeah,
you tried to extort him, and then you took it down, and then you edited it and put it back up again. Don't you tell me you can't take that back. You did.
Exactly. Right. He talks about how his kids start getting harassed and people talking about his kids talking about how people was coming up to them saying that they father killed Tupac. And that's why he came on YouTube and to clear the thing. So he's gonna answer, he's gonna
Great
say
job.
Yeah.
1,700 videos later, and he still hasn't cleaned that shit up. Hasn't cleared it up. Took him almost 2,000 videos, still ain't cleared it up for anybody.
Nope.
Not to say a lot, no. Pills and alcohol. Yeah,
You
just
realize that
those
some of
two.
his videos
I
are
wouldn't
6
put
to
no
8 hours
cocaine or nothing
long.
like that on her.
Some of his videos, 4 hours, 6 hour long videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still ain't cleared shit up. You give me 2,000 videos, I think I'd have a pretty good handle. I could read you the whole Bible and clear things up in 2,000 videos if I did a chapter at a time.
Right.
And,
Cool.
and this guy can't clear anything up. I mean, I think he could put actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, choke.
Yeah.
He could have done and documented every single day by day from the day that Tupac got out of prison, every single calendar day until the day he died. And he still would have been 1,000 videos short. 1,000 videos over. Okay. He literally could have done that. He could have said today is, you know, whatever, August 5th of 1996. This is what happened. This is what we did, and tell the whole story and even comment about it. And that would be less than 1,000 videos. Tupac wasn't there but a year and a half. What is that? 450 days? So that'd be 450 videos. If he did a video for every single day Tupac was alive on death row, just to clear everything up, right?
Are you ready to kick your fitness into high gear?
Right. Wait. So check this out here. This is when he talks about Frank.
Okay.
Introducing ATL Fitness 24/7, your premier kickboxing gym with a twist.
I'd rather get it from the horse's mouth.
I done told you, baby. I done told you. I done told you.
Wait a minute. They advertising
thank
a
God.
fitness show with this guy on it? They advertising a fitness show with this guy? That's kind of ironic.
My
don't you
response-
think? Sad.
They have no idea.
After that is, thank God that they overheard him plotting the lie on the jailhouse phones.
Okay, well,
if you don't report it or put it down, then you covering up stuff. So you take it and then you investigate it. They investigate it. They found out for it to be a lie. He put out. You go and listen to Spider Lope channel right now. What that would have been like 1972. So yeah, I played football, basketball, baseball. Grew up in the city of Compton. That's somebody I know. That's somebody who telling the person that was supposed to be validating the the story, telling them to say this, and the police.
Into the interview on Vlad TV, you in the middle of that situation.
That's a good shot of his ear. That'll go down in cinematic history. There's another shot of his other ear.
And what is the
I
affiliation with
can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, but I know, Kimmie, let me go ahead, and I know what she's going at. So what she's trying to ask me about is Bobby Ladd gave Vlad some paperwork where this guy that was in prison, this dude named Michael DeRoe, alleged that I gave the money to, or I offered $500,000 to him to have Biggie Small or Puffy Biggie Small killed, and so Bobby Ladd presented that paperwork. Of course, you know Vlad. Me and Vlad have a great relationship, so everybody called me. I knew about it. I have addressed it on several occasions. You may have even heard about it, Kimmie, where I told people that a guy that was trying to get out of jail or trying to get, some love, Michael DeRoe, Crip from Compton Southside Crip, had pretty much said that, made the accusations. But thank God that they take phone calls from prison, because the way he got to be found out to be a liar, and me and Michael DeRoe are real good people, good dudes and all of that. I know him because I know Crips and I know Parus. But thank God they heard him telling the person that was supposed to be invalidating the story, telling them to say this, and the police gonna be coming.
He says he's friends with the guy who said he got. Okay, so didn't he just say he's friends with Michael DeRoe, the guy who said that he wanted to offer him $500,000 to kill Diddy or Biggie?
Yeah.
He just accused him of that and said this guy said that he gonna. So now they're friends.
Right.
Wow.
What sense do that make?
Yeah, that's the amazing healing power, I guess. And he runs after me saying that I've accused him of stuff. This guy flat out tells the cops he get me. Okay, so yeah, so apparently there was a phone call that proved him wrong. If you're gonna say that about me, you ain't gonna be my friend.
Right. That's his way. That's his way of spinning people again.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm friends with everybody.
Make sure that he say this and say this. Where they overheard him pretty much lying and plotting to say this. But hey, just because somebody say you had something to do something, or do just like Kimmie D been saying about Puffy since he's been talking, that is not enough to have you put in prison for, or that this is enough to get you investigated or to get you in question. I ain't done told y'all, I have no problem with my name being associated with the murder of Biggie Small, because I don't care. I didn't know Biggie. I don't like being accused of a crime that I didn't commit, but I don't have a problem with it. The only reason and the only thing I defend and care about is for having something to do with the murder of Tupac, because that's somebody I know. That's somebody who I was around. That's somebody that had entrusted me with his safety, and that I let down and didn't do the correct thing, or the correct thing didn't happen for him, meaning he wasn't able to go home.
So you are admitted to have affiliation with the Crips during that time.
Oh, I was a cop in Compton for shit. I worked.
No, that wasn't the question. Notice how he dodges that. He said you were affiliated with the Crips. He goes, yeah, I was. I was a cop at the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Were the cops affiliated with the Crips? Is that what you're saying? You saying the cops were an extension of the Crips? I just caught that. So you're telling me you weren't associated with the Crips? Oh yeah, I was a Compton cop. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then I guess we know how those lines were cut now, don't we?
Exactly.
Thank you for admitting it.
Thank you.
Thank you for admitting that the Compton cops were in with the Crips.
Yes.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up. Video number 1752.
Or 96. I have been working in the city of Compton Police Department since 1984. I went to schools ever since I was moved out of the Imperial Courts housing project in Watts in what that would have been like 1972. So yeah, I played football, basketball, baseball, grew up in the city of Compton. I'm not a cop or an ex-cop or something that lived in the suburbs and came down to the ghetto and police the ghetto. I lived right there. Both of my grandparents lived in that city. So I'm a
So then,
Compton boy all the way.
why would you think it'll still be documented in LAPD records with your affiliation and you being a former cop? Why do you think it's still on record with you being associated with that?
It's on record because it's information that was given. You got to do it. If you don't report it or put it down, then you're covering up stuff. So you take it and then you investigate it. They investigated. They found out for it to be a lie. He put out. You go and listen to Spider Lope channel right now. Michael DeRoe from prison, when he heard about this, denied ever saying that, saying the cop was lying. There's audio of that. Go to Spider Lope's.
Did you
Nobody go to that channel. That shit is a lie. Nobody go to that channel. That is not a credible source.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and of course, Bobby Ladd didn't happen to have that phone call with him, did he? That phone call from prison. He had the document, but he didn't manage to get that phone call.
Yeah, right.
Where he was plotting to conspire against everybody. That alleged phone call that was recorded. You got Bobby Ladd shows up with one thing. Where'd you get that? Oh, my secret treasure trove of document. Well, then where's the recording?
Right.
Okay. Russell Poole, say what you will. Russell Poole had videotapes of him doing interrogations with people. He had videotapes of him grilling people at the LAPD. He had those. Greg Kading brought home all kinds of tapes, as we all know. Okay. If it meant that much and it was that important, then where's
the video?
Where's that alleged tape? Where's that audio? Let's play that audio bomb first. Let's get that audio. You leak that. Why don't you? Why don't you leak that audio?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do us all a favor.
Backstage. We got
I
people
know
backstage. Wait.
I know that you were the owner of Right Way Security, right? Doing
okay.
And I knew that you specifically had Frank Alexander to end up being the principal for Pac. So why?
He was one, but go ahead.
Yeah, he was one, but as others, but he was like the main one that ended up being the principal for Pac in the latter times, right? So
not the last week, not the last 6 weeks. Kevin, Al Giddens and Michael Moore, the last 6 weeks. Frank was off on vacation the last 6 weeks. Once they came from Italy, he took off for 5 weeks. But go ahead.
Okay, but I'm specifically now talking about the Vegas incident. Why was it passed down from you during that time, knowing that the type of city that Las Vegas was, would you have your security guards to not be armed or have any phones or any kind of dealings, anything on them where they're going to a fight in Las Vegas? Why would you, have that meeting with an attorney and say that to them during that time and causing, and not being in the presence of Snoop and Suge and knowing that they were unarmed and didn't have ample security during that time as well? And the reason why I say I have a vested interest in it, because I also want to ask you after you answer this, there's tape recordings of you making threats to Frank Alexander.
Do you call that threats by saying what you're going to do because he's refusing to come and do his job and testify and asking him what he's going to do? That's not a threat, baby. That's not how I talk. But let me answer your question, because I hate for things to get thrown out. That's opinion that's been answered 1,000 times. But number one, the bodyguards was not told to not carry guns.
Why did he get so I know what you can get at, but why did he get so angry and defensive with OG Patrice when
she's asking him pointed questions?
Right. When she said you was threatening Frank. We all heard him threatening Frank. He trying to say that ain't no threat now?
Well, and again, we have multiple. I mean, he can try and discount one guy. We have multiple people who said they were told not to carry their weapons.
Yes, right.
Multiple people were told that. Why would everybody lie on this guy? It's a Reggie against the world, isn't it now? It's a me against the world. Oh, everybody, just like, okay, now here's the other thing. He came up with this boner statement early on that Tupac was never going to leave death row. That why would he give up his freedom? That was his argument for the longest time. When we did Battle for Compton, I listed 20 witnesses who all said they had personal firsthand knowledge that he was going to leave death row. And you know how many people didn't? Him. That was it. He was the only one. 20 people said he was. He said he wasn't. Now, carrying the guards, carrying the weapons. He's the only one who says, I never told anybody that. You got multiple witnesses that say that, okay? And they're even saying it on phone calls to each other. Why would they lie to each other on a phone call when one of them didn't even know he was being taped? Okay. Right. Michael Moore didn't even know Frank Alexander was tape recording him. Right. And they're talking about it. Okay. No way. Right. Too many people, too many witnesses against one guy.
That's right. 100%.
Everybody else is wrong.
That they were unarmed and didn't have ample security during that time as well. And the reason why I say I have a vested interest in it, because I also want to ask you after you answer this, there's tape recordings of you making threats to Frank Alexander. If
Do you call that threats by saying what you're going to do because he's refusing to come and do his job and testify and asking him what he going to do? That's not a threat, baby. That's not how I talk.
You fired him by
let me
that
answer your
time.
question because I hate for things to get thrown out. That's opinion that's been answered 1,000 times. But number one, the bodyguards was not told to not carry guns. Read Frank's book. You done researched all this stuff. I'm sure you know.
That's not what Mike said. And that's not what.
Let me answer. Please don't cut me off. I didn't cut you off when you were asking your question.
Okay. My apology. Go.
Yeah. So Frank Alexander once said in his book, he didn't retrieve his gun from his car when Pac asked him to drive them in the Lexus at the last minute because he didn't want to hold up the entourage. So that showed you that the bodyguards are supposed to have their guns. The only people that was not supposed to have guns in Vegas, which is unfortunate to Wright and Reggie Wright, that he had 2 or 3 different details going on, was the people that was working at the nightclub, inside of a nightclub.
He's so incompetent, he can't run 2 or 3 details. The owner of a security company, he can't control 2 or 3 details going on, right? That's too much. Too many people. Too much going on. Can't control that. Besides, I got to pay attention to the nightclub.
And you had 20-some cops. You tell me you had 20-some cops that day, and you only had Frank with the entourage of people.
I suppose Suge Knight was lying to Michael Carlin when he said that he told Reggie to get the guys from the club and come down there. So Reggie, why don't you call him? Why don't you have the temerity? Why don't you have the temerity, the chutzpah, whatever you want to call it, the balls, whatever, that you want to get on there and you call Suge Knight a liar. You call him a liar. You say it, Suge Knight lied to Michael Carlin. Have the temerity to say that, because Suge says, and it's on recording, it's all over the place. You heard it, Art. He said he told Reggie to bring, and I know Reggie's going to watch this. He told you to bring extra guys from the club. You didn't do it. Okay. You didn't do it, but you get on there on YouTube, on your channel, and you say this statement. Suge Knight is a liar. He lied about saying that he called and told me to bring 5 guys for the club. And he lied because he was telling Michael Carlin something that Michael Carlin wanted to hear. Let me hear you say that, because you're calling your own man a liar.
Right.
Okay. Say it. Have the balls to say it. Come out and say it.
All right.
Not the bodyguards. There were 2 different details, babe. And those were the ones that was the meeting was for. It was for the people that was working at the nightclub, not the people that were working and doing bodyguard details. Now,
that's a motherfucking lie, right?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Because Frank and Michael Moore was at that meeting.
Right. And and Frank was going to work at the club later. We know that. But did he just say there were 2 meetings? Because Death Row Dave said that they had another meeting later on. That Death Row Dave wasn't at that one at the TGI Fridays. He was at a different meeting where they were told not to carry any weapons.
Right.
So he's claiming that there were two meetings. Roll that back. I think he said
so.
there were
Frank
two meetings.
Alexander once said in his book, he didn't retrieve his gun from his car when Pac asked him to drive them in the Lexus at the last minute because he didn't want to hold up the entourage. So that showed you that the bodyguards are supposed to have their guns. The only people that was not supposed to have guns in Vegas, which is unfortunate to Wright and Reggie Wright, that he had 2 or 3 different details going on, was the people that was working at the nightclub, inside of a nightclub, not the bodyguards. There were 2 different details, babe. And those were the ones that was the meeting was for. It was for the people that was working at the nightclub, not the people that were working and doing bodyguard details. Now, you bring up a good question about the walkie-talkies. That was Frank's first day back.
Let me see, Frank. Let me find him.
Frank's first day back. And he didn't get his
All right, line art's looking pretty good. Let's use Gen Recolor and bring it to life.
I hate it when people start using pictures from my movies and my premieres.
Person that he would release, meaning Michael Moore. They probably had a charger.
You see, the whole time he can't look straight. I tell you, every time he lies, he's looking off to the left. He can't even look straight this whole fucking conversation because he's lying. Watch him.
In their room at the hotel. He neglected to not have the walkie-talkie charge or whatever. As far as they say, I still don't know that today that's true or not.
Wow. Wow. This is the head of security for the record label saying that he don't know what the hell was going on with his crew at the time. And maybe they had a charger and maybe they did. This is a new story now. Maybe they had a charger in the room and he just didn't charge his phone. That's the latest. I've been doing this 17 years. I've heard so many different versions of this. And this is the latest. They didn't charge their phone. And then he goes, well, I really don't know what was going on. Yeah, no shit. Wow. Yeah, in other news, sky is blue. Okay.
Let me tell you how bullshit that is, right?
It is.
Because even when I worked at like BET, we used to call the security guys the men in black. When you walk in the security office, them niggas got a tray charger where stacks of walkie-talkies go in there, and you go, and you pick up your walkie-talkie. They stay on the charger. There's a whole unit. You tell me you're a professional company, and your man's they got to bring their walkie-talkie to work.
They had a charger in their room. Yeah, I'm sure Michael Moore packed that with his gear. Okay. First off, Michael Moore didn't have a radio. Second off, Frank didn't have a radio, and he had to call him from a payphone several times. And at no time do you wait. You don't have a radio? I got 20 guys standing out here. They all got radios. It's 5 minutes from the club to where they were. Let me run you down a radio. This clown even said that he went to the MGM. He went there, walked around and saw what was going on, and left to go to Club 662. He walked away. He saw what was going on and walked away.
He says that?
Yes. Look up the video.
Wait till you see what he say next then.
Yeah, okay.
This fool is a stupid. Oh, he's stupid.
The most important thing is
that's
go
Frank.
ahead.
That's Frank.
Yep.
Look.
Yep. Yeah, that's steroids. Yep.
That. You say steroids.
That's steroid man. But
you see how when he saw that picture of Frank, he couldn't even look at him? That shit touched his soul. He called him steroid man. That's a dead person. He supposed to be like, yo, rest in peace, Frank. That was Frank, in his prime, this, that, and other. he's still hating on the nigga.
Yeah,
And-
we all
and-
make mistakes and blah blah blah. No, he's
Nope.
still hating, still calling bitch ass and everything else.
Yes.
And by the way, so I get this on record. The video is called "The Last Time." It was on Bomb First. It was called "The Last Time Tupac Ever Spoke to Me." He admits that he went to the MGM hotel. He saw what was going on down there, saw it was crazy as hell, and left. Okay, that'll tell you.
Wow.
Look it up.
The third thing and most important thing is
That's
go
Frank.
ahead.
That's Frank.
Yeah.
Whoop. Look.
Yep. Yeah, that's steroids. Yep.
How about that? You say steroids.
That's steroid man. But
Haters
more
gonna
importantly
hate.
is that it's supposed to be 2 bodyguards with him. Another bodyguard with him, and that was Kevin Hackey. I did not know, and no one notified me that Kevin Hackey did not show up. But hey, forget all of that. There were 20 guys with Tupac.
No. Kevin
20
Hackey said that
guys
he talked to Reggie on the telephone.
Yeah. Nobody told the owner of the company.
Yeah, the
Who
security
was fucking
company.
supposed to tell you? Your fucking assistant? What do you mean nobody told you? You the owner of the company.
And by the way, you're running shit. How come you don't know that already? Aren't you supposed to
Right?
check
Why
in
you
with
ain't
people?
say, "Hey, Hackey, where the fuck you at, guy?" Like
Not
what?
just that, but when Frank Alexander called him and Tupac wanted to know what time Suge was going to be there for the fight, and he called him, how come he said, "Where's Kevin?"
Right.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
Right. This
I'm
dude's
sorry,
either he runs one of the departments in the federal FBI building, or they he done gave so many motherfucking people up, they giving him a pass. Cause how the fuck they watching this shit and not arresting this fool? Like, please.
That I trust more than right way security guys. That was street niggas,
What?
game bangers, and all.
Hey yo, hold on, RJ. Now he getting ready to put it on the street guys. It's their
this will
fault.
be good. Yeah, this will be the
Oh
ones he
my
ratted out.
God.
Yeah, okay.
Another bodyguard with them, and that was Kevin Hackey. I did not know, and no one notified me that Kevin Hackey did not show up. But hey, forget all of that. There were 20 guys with Tupac that night. 20 guys that I trust more than right way security guys. That was street niggas, game bangers, and all of them.
Is it true
was
that
in that entourage?
Was it true that Pac sent the fax that fired Right Way like the month before?
Not before. It was about 7 days before, on the 27th of August. Myself and David Kenner.
Let me find
Myself and David Kenner. But that was him plotting and being mad at Suge, and everything got worked out after that. Hence, why are we in New York with him? Why is my security and my guy standing around him at the hotel in New York if we supposed to have been fired when we went?
Reggie, stop playing stupid. Just because Pac fired you personally don't mean you're not still hired by the label for security. So if Suge still got you still paying you for Death Row security, nigga, if he say, yo, watch Pac, watch Daz, watch the dog, watch the bathroom, watch the drip from the AC on the ceiling, that's what the fuck you supposed to do, because you working for Death Row and they hired you as a security company.
I guess he didn't tell him
that you didn't even have no other accounts, which is crazy.
Yeah, I guess he didn't tell him not to watch the radios.
Right. Oh, hey, hold on. Didn't he say he had 3 security details? So where's the 3 at? Which
it went from 3 to 2. He started with 3 security details, and then he told her there were 2 details.
Okay, so what was the 2 then?
Well, I'm guessing there was a guy. Yeah, the
so
club.
What was the 3? Because he probably had 3, and he's slipping up and realized he said 3, and now want to switch it to 2.
Yeah, that's the detail you're not supposed to know about.
Yeah, like the cops on the bikes, maybe that pulled them over.
Well, all I can tell you is that for the I was an idiot defense doesn't work very long. Okay. It
Right.
just doesn't. It doesn't. I didn't know. Nobody told me. You know, it like I said, it's always shifting the blame to somebody else. It's always yeah, okay, I'm guilty, but it was this guy. Or yeah, I'm guilty, but it was this. Or they didn't have radios because nobody told. Wait, there
Right.
is so much
And
evidence.
he had a radio in his room, but he was dead. Like, you only saying that, rest in peace to Frank and Michael Moore, because if they was here, you'd be fucked. Just like Suge started doing collect calls, and now all of a sudden Suge is his friend. Because now he could come out here and have rebuttals and tell stories or address his lies. Now Suge is his boy again. And shit, that's what that's about.
Went to the MTV Music Awards on the 1st of September. Why are we talking about this now if I was supposed to have been fired? Why was Frank there then? Why was anybody with him?
Well, because
so that knows that go ahead.
Well, no, specifically, Pac wanted to keep Frank as his security guard as he moved on.
Yeah, that's Frank's story later on in 2003, 2004. That ain't no truth, no facts to that. And if not,
I was hearing that in 1998 from Frank, you liar. I was hearing that personally from Frank. You may say that was Frank's story, but that was Frank's story back in 1998 because I met him in 1998 and we became friends in 1998. And he told me that as well. And it's pretty clear from the dozens of people that I talked to and interviewed. Dozens of people all said that Frank and Tupac had a friendship that you wouldn't know anything about. Okay. You couldn't even touch that friendship and you wouldn't know anything about it because too many other people witnessed it and were willing to talk about it. I haven't heard anybody but Reggie Wright say that Tupac and Frank didn't have a good relationship. Again, here's all these people on this side, one guy. Isn't that amazing? Joke how many times dozens of people can say one thing and the only person saying the opposite is this guy? Amazing how that works. That's like some statistical anomaly. That's like something you got to do calculus to figure the odds out that 25 people could say one thing. He says something else.
Right.
Okay?
And Suge wanted Frank on Tupac. And Reggie even said it himself because of how he reacted at the Dog Pound Snoop shoot in New York when the trailer got shot up. Lying ass motherfucker.
Been cool. Why Reggie getting blamed for it then? And let Frank be there. Then it should be Frank's fault.
I'm saying you were the head of security, so for at the end of the day, the responsibility and accountability lies on you, right? And you as the head of Wright Security. Correct?
When I first started off this whole interview, I said I have some neglect, and I messed up on some of the security tactics for Tupac. The Tupac situation. I said that at the beginning. If you go back and listen to it,
comes the butt.
I did hear you say that.
There it is.
I said that. So I take accountability for that as being an owner. But you can't have it both ways.
There it is, see. But
if I'm fired, then I wasn't supposed to be there, and anything else is extra. If I'm not fired, then yeah, I have to take the accountability for hiring a nice looking bodyguard that everybody said woo to and all of that, and he not doing the proper thing.
Wow. You see how he put that shit on Frank?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Not doing the right thing, as he says. Okay.
Whoa. What the fuck was Frank supposed to do with no gun? No walkie-talkie. And you got 20-some cops, 24, 20 cops out there. And Frank is the only one with an entourage. And even after the fight, and that was his fault.
And by the way, he talked about the other 20 guys that he trusted more than the right way guys. Those are the fools that got Suge revoked on his probation because they beat Orlando Anderson up. Nice job.
Facts. And that ain't
Nice
they
job.
they wasn't security, those are Suge friends. They hanging out. They
Those are the people you're talking about. Yeah, if those are the people you're talking about, chump. Those are the people that got Suge violated and got, according to you, got Tupac killed.
Right.
Congratulations. You pick all the right people. Man, captain of the Titanic. All the time. Always. Fucking drive. You know what? There's not a rake in the yard you won't step on, dude. I swear to God. I mean,
One, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM. I had never knew about that or heard about that. No one's contacted.
calling Suge not a liar again. Here we go. Call Suge not a liar. I didn't know anything about any of that. No, because no single motherfucker on the planet called you and told you that something went down at the MGM and you're the head of security and nobody called you. You're not telling me that Frank didn't call you when he got back to the hotel room and nobody called you? All these motherfuckers with Nextel phones and no one's calling anybody. No one's calling the head of security. And then the one guy that says he did call the head of security, Suge Knight, he calls him a liar and says that he didn't know anything. Really?
So you telling me that Tupac, this whole MGM grand fight happens and nobody called the head of security?
Yeah, no one says a
even
word.
The fucking police was called?
Yeah, nobody says a word. Nobody says the word to the head of security. Okay. Okay. Right.
He didn't know. He didn't know about the fight, but he knew Southside did it.
Yeah, of course, did right away. 5 minutes after the shooting, he knew who did it. He knew. Oh yeah, it must be Southside. Well, where'd you pick that out of?
Hey, yo, this dude is fucking wild.
I didn't know about the radios. Well, let's keep score. I didn't know about the radios. I didn't know about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know about the MGM fight. Fuck good are you? I mean, by your own statement, clown, you said, and I quote, I didn't know anything about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know anything about the radios. I didn't know anything about the MGM fight. The three most important things in the entire evening. And you say you didn't know anything about any of them.
Who hired this motherfucker?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the conversation I'd like to have with Suge. Why did you put this clown in charge? He admits on his own video he'd never been a bodyguard before. He says, I was Suge's right-hand man. I'd never been a bodyguard before. I was Suge's right-hand man. But I've never been a bodyguard before. No, yeah, there's another no shit. Okay?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know about Kevin Hackey. I didn't know about the fight at the MGM. I didn't know about the radios.
And I don't know why they ain't had their guns.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have their guns. I don't know why Frank didn't have his gun.
But I own the company. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
One, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM.
Lies on you, right? And you as the head of Wright Security, correct?
When I first started off this whole interview, I said I have some neglect, and I messed up on some of the security tactics for the Tupac situation. I said that at the beginning. If you go back and listen to it,
I did hear you say that.
I said that. So I take accountability for that as being an owner. But you can't have it both ways. If I'm fired, then I wasn't supposed to be there, and anything else is extra. If I'm not fired, then yeah, I have to take accountability for hiring a nice looking bodyguard.
That's a real recent argument that he's made. That's like in the last year or so when Delray Richardson brought up the fact that he had been fired from Right Way, or Tupac had fired Right Way. That's the new rationale that came out. That's the new spin on it, to say, well, if I was fired, then I wasn't responsible for Tupac. But if I was responsible for Tupac, then I wasn't fired.
No, that's bullshit.
It is.
Motherfucker, Death Row hired you. So you are to protect the everything under the umbrella.
Right Way Security was contracted to Death Row Records.
That's
I
right.
don't know how much more the checks went from Death Row's bank account to Right Way.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Those
So
security
if you
guys were
paid by,
employees of
if
Right
you
Way.
paid by Death Row Records, you are supposed to protect everything under the fucking umbrella, nigga, which is Tupac too, especially when he's sitting next to the CEO.
Well, Tupac wasn't, and Tupac didn't run Death Row Records. Last I checked.
Right.
So Tupac can say anything he wants to about Fire Right Way. It has no meaning because you're working for Death Row.
You working for Suge.
Yeah.
And that's why you out in Vegas. That's why you doing security for Club 662, because you're working for fucking Suge. And if Suge tell you to protect Tupac and put Mikey Moore and put Frank on them, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not working for Tupac going out to the club by himself without the label. You're not working for Tupac going to get something to eat by himself at Monty's and need a security. Nigga, this dude's he's full of Reggie's such a liar. He's so full of shit.
Everybody saying woo to and all of that, and he not doing the proper thing. One, let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know that there was a big fight at the MGM. I had never knew about that or heard about that. No one contacted me. Why? Because they feel good. So niggas feel comfortable. They had 20.
Reggie,
Go ahead.
How did you call so fast after the shooting? If nobody, like, when you were, you called it, I believe you told someone right after the shooting, not long after the shooting. How did you know so quickly that the shooting had even taken place?
Baby, I didn't know until I went to the hospital and we sitting around, everybody crying, and I went in the emergency room and talked to Suge and stuff. Where they went.
Okay,
Reggie, you went to the hospital and you went in the emergency room and talked to Suge. A motherfucker that just got shot in the head and they sitting there working on it. You went in the emergency room and they let you go in the back and talk to Suge. You're fucking lying, nigga. You're lying.
Well, let's say for a minute let's say it's not true. Let's say it's true. Let's be stupid. I know, but let's say it's true for a minute.
Okay.
So what you're telling me, what I've just heard, was that he didn't see the cars like he said. He saw all the police cars taking off and leaving Club 662. He never heard anything over a radio. He never heard anything from George Kalisis. This is all the different stories he's told about how he was alerted to it. And now he says he didn't know anything until he got to the emergency room.
Yes.
You know, I got to tell you something. The amount of mental energy that this is just a thing. The more lies you got to tell to more people, the harder it is to keep up with them because you can't remember what you told who. Okay. Problem is he put all these into YouTube videos, 1,700 YouTube videos. He put all that stuff and he recorded it. I got together with George. I hitched a ride with George Kalisis to the hospital. Okay. He says that. He says Michael Moore couldn't have heard anything over the radio.
Call with Michael Moore.
Well, and he said Michael Moore couldn't have heard anything over the radio because we were in the club, and I got notified by Buntry or somebody that came to the Club 662 allegedly and told him that. Right. Okay. And now it's I didn't know anything until I got to the hospital. Really?
And went in the emergency room.
Oh yeah, I walked back to the emergency room where two high-profile celebrities.
Mother couldn't have went in there and talked to him after getting shot in the head.
Kevin Hackey sure couldn't.
Thank you. You crazy? They not letting you back there, and he's not. And he's not even first. He's not even first to kin.
Well, and they don't even know who he is. Two people just got shot. One is on life support.
And Suge like, oh, yo, that was Southside that shot us. Yeah, right, nigga.
That was Southside.
And you called your father that fast? Mm-hmm. You got to the hospital, went to the emergency. Suge told you it was Southside, and you called your father within 30 minutes and told your father, and you got to the hospital in 30 minutes.
It was within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of the shooting, he was on the phone with his dad.
How could you get to the hospital that fast, bro?
Wow. Well,
Suge and them
it's
probably
the
was
story.
still in the fucking ambulance. They probably didn't even make it to the hospital yet.
Well,
because remember they pulled them over and they got in the ambulance and all that stuff. They questioned the outlaws. You telling me you went to the hospital and Suge told you sedated? Why they got him in a hospital bed? Everything. Why you went in there and talked to Suge and he told you?
Oh yeah, and he was able to unravel that whole thing with the Las Vegas and Orlando Anderson and the MGM. He had that all figured out.
Yeah, and told you that for you to call your father and say it was Southside. And you wasn't at the fight, you didn't know what happened, and you wasn't in the car when the shooting, and you didn't know what happened. Nobody called you and told you, and you drove all the way down there to the hospital. This nigga's full of shit, bro. The feds got favoritism out here. I don't know what's going on with the federal government.
Shout out to OG Patrice because she's putting the stones to him on this.
That's right. OG Patrice, you got him. Got him.
Down. I didn't know until Neckbone and Buntry came running up to me at the club inside of the nightclub and said, Reg.
How did you call so fast after the shooting? If nobody, like, when you were, you called it, I believe you told someone right after the shooting, not long after the shooting. How did you know so quickly that the shooting had even taken place?
Baby, I didn't know until I went to the hospital and we sitting around, everybody crying, and I went in the emergency room and talked to.
You said, hey, no, to everybody, you got your commercial, everybody cried. But you see how he keep looking off to the side like I told y'all? He's lying again.
Knew about that or heard about that? No one's contacted me. Why? Because they feel good. Those niggas feel comfortable. They had 20.
They all felt good that somebody got shot.
How did you call so fast after the shooting? If nobody, like, when you were,
felt good.
You called it, I believe you told someone right after the shooting, not long after the shooting. How did you know so quickly that the shooting had even taken place?
Baby, I didn't know until I went to the hospital and we sitting around, everybody crying, and I went in the emergency room and talked to Suge and stuff where they went down. I didn't know until Neckbone and Buntry came running up to me at the club inside of the nightclub and said, Reg, Tupac and Suge just got shot down the street. And I'm seeing Vegas PD taking off from the club because they were working there as well and going to that scene.
Hold that
so
thought
that's the earliest I know.
Hold that thought for a minute. Didn't they say that Buntry gave chase to the white Cadillac and was shooting at the white Cadillac and that Buntry gave chase? How is that physically possible for him to be in two locations at once? Where I guess he just gave up on chasing the white Cadillac and shooting it out, and then he went to the club.
Wait, so Buntry ain't see the guy you say he caught a ride with, or Michael Moore and didn't run into Buntry when they came to the club and told him that?
Funny how Michael Moore never said that.
Exactly. He's lying. He's fucking lying, bro. He's lying. Wait, did you find out when you went to the hospital and when the Buntry talked to Suge, or did you find out when Buntry and Neckbone came and told you? You just told you just told two different ways you found out in one sentence, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's true.
He's lying.
You roll it.
Fine. Let your owner know, or let your boss know, or let people know
Let your owner
that there was a big fight at the MGM. I had never knew about that or heard about that. No one's contacted me. Why? Because they feel good. Those niggas feel comfortable. They had 20.
They felt good about that MGM
How did you
fight.
call
They felt
so
good
fast
about all
after the
that.
shooting? If nobody, like, when you were, you called it, I believe you told someone right after the shooting, not long after the shooting. How did you know so quickly that the shooting had even taken place?
Baby, I didn't know until I went to the hospital and we sitting around, everybody crying, and I went in the emergency room and talked to Suge and stuff where they went down. I didn't know until Neckbone and Buntry came running up to me at the club inside of the nightclub and said, Reg, Tupac and Suge just got shot down the street. And I'm seeing Vegas PD taking off from the club because they were working there as well and going to that scene. So that's the earliest I know. And for me to know who the players were, I didn't know that until I get to the hospital and
I
talking
was
to people,
reminded
and
that
they
he
telling me,
told
hey,
Trayvon. He
you
said
know, we just got
Trayvon
into a
Lane
fight.
told
We
him
got
that. I'm reminded that he said that Trayvon Lane told him that. So you got another version of the story.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, no. Shout out to hold on.
Wait, somebody just sent you.
Shout out to Blue Gold. Yeah, shout out to Blue Gold. Blue Gold said he told Trayvon Lane. He said Trayvon Lane told him about the shooting, that a shooting happened.
Okay, I see it right there.
Yeah. So now you got. Now what is it?
Three
you
stories.
Pick your player. Yeah. Pick your story.
I keep telling you, Reggie allegedly got Tupac and Suge shot the fuck up, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. This nigga lies do not add up, bro.
Well, I don't understand how you can have so many variations on a story that, the truth is just the truth. That's it. The truth is just the truth. Period.
Right.
There's no getting around it. And going around and accusing people of Michael Moore of lying about it and going around. I mean, the reality is that he probably should have leaned into that and said, I don't know why somebody said that over the radio, but that maybe that's what Michael Moore heard. I don't remember hearing that. He could have said something like that. Okay. Maybe you get a pass. But now he's making excuses about that he was inside the club when it happened. And then somehow magically being inside the club, he saw all the police cars driving down the street. He got Superman X-ray vision now. He's seeing through the club. He's watching the cars go by. Code 3, he says. They're going code 3. Really? And how do you know that? You're standing inside the club, because he said you couldn't hear anything on Michael Moore's radio because they were inside the club where it was too noisy to hear radio. Listen, motherfucker, if you can't hear a radio in a nightclub, how are you going to hear what's happening outside?
Right. He's full of shit. He's so full of shit. I'm telling you, man, I believe Kimmie D told him that Puff offered him that money, and they conspired together to make this shit happen, and then they killed Big to make it look like retaliation.
All I know is it depends on what day of the week it is that this guy changes his story. I swear, it's always something different. Same kind of theme, but something different.
Right.
They got into a fight with the dudes at the club. Get to the hospital and talking to people, and they telling me, hey, we just got into a fight. They got into a fight with the dudes at the club, and there was some Southside Compton Crip dudes and all of that. But I didn't know who the players were. I didn't know it was Kimmie D. I didn't know that it was Baby Lane and all of them at the time. But I knew it was niggas from Compton, from Southside Compton Crip, because that's what makes sense.
Regular fucking Sherlock Holmes. Regular fucking Sherlock Holmes. I knew it was them because that made sense. Wow. The powers of deduction on this guy. No wonder he was so helpful to the FBI. Nice job, Sherlock. I knew it was them because it made sense.
So he called.
I didn't know anything. But I didn't know anything. I knew nothing about anything, but that made sense. Don't ask me about anything else. Don't ask me about the radios. I didn't know about that. Don't ask me about Kevin Hackey because I don't know anything about that. Don't ask me anything about the MGM beating because I don't know anything about that either. But I do know about this because it made sense. Am I getting the story here? Am I tracking this?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. Just to make sure I'm not confused.
He called his father and said, hey, Southside just killed Tupac and Suge because it made sense. Yo, this motherfucker's such a liar, bro. I swear to God, bro.
Get to the hospital and talking to people, and they telling me, hey, we just got into a fight. They got into a fight with the dudes at the club, and there was some Southside Compton Crip dudes and all of that. But I didn't know who the players were. I didn't know it was Kimmie D. I didn't know that it was Baby Lane and all of them at the time. But I knew it was niggas from Compton, from Southside Compton Crip, because that's what makes sense. That's what made sense. The nigga
So
that
if
we
you
had just
were
got into it
fired,
with.
then if you were fired, why were you and your team even in Vegas at all? Then why wasn't
My
it a
point.
whole
Thank
other
you.
security?
Thank
there?
you. That's my whole
Thank
thing. My point. Thank you for making my point.
Yo, this nigga. Yo, he's a spin master. Thank you. That's right. That's right. Well, thank you. Right,
What
right.
point was that?
Nigga, you was there because you was hired by Death Row Security.
Yeah,
I
and
mean
you were
by
asked
Death
to
Row.
take
That's
care
why
of Tammy
you was there.
Hawkins at the club. Take care of Tammy Hawkins, and it helped Tammy Hawkins at the club. Oh,
Yeah.
that same Tammy Hawkins that you ratted out to Greg Kading. That Tammy Hawkins.
Yeah,
Same
the one,
one.
the one
Same
you was
one that
living
you
with.
tried to flip to the police.
Right. The
Because
same
you love
chick you had to
Tupac
go to
so much.
court with.
Yeah, because you love Tupac.
Right.
Yeah, you
Fuck
did it all
outta
for
here.
Tupac.
This nigga here is a joke.
Wow.
Okay, well, thank you, OG Patrice.
Okay,
for
all
bringing
right.
us
So that
that.
show you that
Enough
wasn't
of you,
true.
OG
Don't that make
Patrice.
sense to
Okay.
you that wasn't true? That's my whole
Thank
thing. My point. Thank you for making my point.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, thank
That's
you,
the whole
OG
thing.
Patrice,
Okay,
for
all
bringing
right.
us
So
that.
that show
All
you
right.
that wasn't true. Don't that make sense to you that wasn't true? Why are we there? Why we got hotel rooms paid for by Death Row and all of that if that's the truth? Exactly.
Because you're paid by Death Row.
Exactly, you stupid ass. Why we got hotel rooms we paid by Death Row? Cause you work for Death Row, not Tupac.
Because Right Way Security couldn't afford them.
They'll hide you, nigga.
Yeah, and Right Way Security couldn't afford them on $20 an hour.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so next we have Queen Tulsa. Go ahead, Queen. Ask your question.
Hello, Mr. Reggie. If you don't mind just going on mute, so I can
Where is this guy
Okay,
going?
I'll get it. Go ahead.
Where
Go
is he
ahead.
going? I just see a bobblehead just
I just
bouncing
pretty
around.
much wanted to
Where's
come up
he
and
going?
speak on.
He's going to gamble.
I know he said that he is a Snoop Dogg fan and a Suge Knight fan. Did I get that correct? Yes or no?
Uh-oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
But I was talking about music. I was talking about
He was saying as far
as far as over Tupac, as far as overall artist. But my favorite album of all times is still All Eyes on Me.
Okay, so this is going to lead into my question. So during a recent interview with the Art of Dialogue, Reggie Wright Jr. spoke on the time when Master P. For me.
I'm gonna mute up. Go ahead.
Mute him.
Go,
Okay.
go ahead.
So during a recent interview with the Art of Dialogue, Reggie Wright Jr. spoke on a time when Master P invited members of Death Row to a show he had in LA. At the time, Snoop had just joined Master P's No Limit Records and was making multiple songs dissing Suge Knight and Death Row. Reggie alleges that he and others met with Snoop and Daz Dillinger backstage to speak on the diss tracks. Things quickly escalated, which led to Reggie instructing a Death Row member to hit Snoop Dogg. Wright claims Snoop Dogg and Daz ran to police for protection immediately after being struck. After allegedly running to police,
I
Snoop
think
and
that was
Daz
the
were arrested
Universal.
for
That was up
marijuana.
at Universal Studios, the Universal Amphitheater.
She's reading some shit off some website or whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Let me, I'm going to jump up so.
Life hack. Get a stately personal stylist. Personal stylist? That sounds expensive.
Not.
Hey, she's a nutcase.
I
I'm
think
like,
what,
yeah.
I think what she's saying is if Jaguar Wright would you ever hit a link that Jaguar Wright is on? I mean,
No.
no.
I can't be in. She's a nutcase to me, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's any supporters there. I don't believe you are, Miss Kimmie, but
Fuck that bitch.
yeah, okay. That's my opinion. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think she's a nutcase. I think she's a troll I think she's like Choke No Joe. Guys that just sit and create
Trash.
things and read things and then just throw out their opinion. Which
You
is
hear this?
cool if that's what you want to hear. If you
Yeah.
just want to hear somebody's opinion, then that's cool. I'm one that want to hear stories and facts. I don't want to just hear people's opinion. I mean, I know a lot of this stuff is opinionated. Okay, you're right, but I try to tell the truth or respond to, you know,
Okay.
and was notified, guess by who? But that was something that was said 12 years later to Greg Cady, considered not law.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
So RJ, here's my other question that I got him with the this is the Greg Caden question. Watch this.
Us, Yolanda.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for answering my
I only do interviews twice a month. Everybody thinks it's like I do them daily, but we only do them 2 times a month, and so we just tape them and split them up. And so it seemed like that's. But I got a new show that me and Mob James, going to be doing on Vlad TV. It's a podcast that me and James starting up this week.
TV. Shout out to Vlad TV. His podcast is coming when? What day?
Well, we taping our first episode is going to be.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I said the show's called The Informants.
Yeah, the informants, the cop and the gangster.
that would be actually pretty good title for a show, The Informants. You know,
what the fuck it is anyway.
And
It's
instead of
on
having
the
a bomb
Informant channel, the
and instead of
Informant
having
on
a
the police channel, Vlad
yeah,
TV.
yeah. Well, you know, and by the way, and instead of having a bomb down on the logo in the corner, they're gonna have a big piece of cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Right on Vlad TV, the cheese channel. You goddamn right. For fucking 2 niggas from Compton, the Compton cop and the Compton gangbanger, the informants.
Be this Monday, but I don't know when they're gonna drop it. But yeah, it's gonna be.
Yo, can you believe these guys went and got a job at Vlad instead of starting their own channel?
Well, wait a minute. Yo, thing is, I mean, is Mob James going to start talking about seeing Keefy D in the Cadillac again? He gonna start?
No, he ain't see him now. Remember, he see him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Saw him in the 4th when he did.
So wait a minute. So let me get how this program's going to go. One guy's going to say things and then say the opposite, and then the other guy don't know anything. Nobody told him anything. So you got a guy who says one thing and then says something else, and then you got a guy who says nobody told him anything. That's going to be hella content. I can't imagine what's going to come out of that show.
I like how the fact they going up on a motherfucking platform to destroy other black people and send them to jail and tell these stories on a platform that they can start their fucking self.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they want to be on the police network because they know the police watch that network.
I wonder how John Hyland feels about the fact that Reggie's going to go make Vlad some money
without him. Yeah.
And him and Mob James. And him and Mob James had a thing going on Bomb First. They were talking on Bomb First all the time. They were talking on Bomb First, you know. But that
Vlad got the check for them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Vlad, he probably get the CI budget from the government.
Vlad's worked for a long time to build an audience, and he actually gets some pretty interesting cats on his channel. But in terms of these guys, to your point, I don't understand why they can't build their own. If they really have 100,000 subscribers on their own, okay, then you know they can sit there and make fun of channels like yours or mine or something else that don't have as many viewers as Bomb First allegedly. But
I got the same amount of viewers as them. I got the same amount of subscribers as them.
Yeah,
they ain't saying nothing. Yeah. But they got to go work for Master.
Well, because they don't have enough to build their own audience, to build their own crew. You know,
them two alone ain't shit. They live off Tupac name and they live off Death Row name. Outside of that, they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So they going on Vlad because Vlad got a name, and Vlad can exploit them to exploit black people, and sit there and exploit us and put us in jail and talk.
Well, I can't talk on that. I can't talk on that because I'm the racist. Remember, I'm the racist, so I can't speak on that at all. You know.
Oh man,
I can't say I can't say 2 words because I'm the racist. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Let's get to it. I can.
Just James and I just talking shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that James addressed some things that had happened to him that was pretty fucked up. But let me ask you this question that somebody sent me. You said to Greg Kading, Southside
Okay.
killed Biggie in retaliation for not setting their for not selling.
She jacked my question up. It was, you said Greg Kading, you told Greg Kading that Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for Tupac. Because they didn't get their money for the hit on Tupac. So was it a hit or was it retaliation from him getting jumped? Watch what Reggie said. Now he done answered this earlier, but watch this. I got him again.
Their money for the hit on Tupac.
Okay.
How did
Okay.
you know to tell Greg Kading that?
Now we talking, baby. We talking like 10 years, maybe 12 years later. So the streets talk. But that was something that was said 12 years later to Greg Kading. I didn't ever see Greg for the first time in my life until about 2008. We all
What?
know. Yes. That's the myth that everybody believes. Like everybody had a relationship. It's just that it's this stuff that happened so long ago where it seems like people have been in relationships for a long time. I didn't meet Greg Kading until they came knocking on my door for the murder investigation of Biggie Smalls, and which was
Bingo! Bingo! What have I been telling y'all forever? RJ, can you tell them what he just said in layman's terms?
Yeah, he said Greg Kading came to him over the murder of Biggie Smalls. Simple.
Which makes him what?
A suspect or a person of interest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, job. He just told on his fucking self. He just told on himself. He was the suspect in the Biggie murder, and he tried to put it on Keefy D and them. And then when Greg came in and went to Keefy D said, "Motherfucker, I was there with Biggie and them that night. We was there with Biggie. Puffy gave us 3 bottles of Cristal. What are you talking? Oh, I'm sorry. It was Poochie."
Well,
and Greg Kading went for it.
Even if we liberally interpret it, okay? Even if we liberally interpret
it. This is my friend here. I'm going to let you talk for a second. Go ahead.
Well, even if we liberally interpret it and we say that when he says that Kading went and visited him for the killing of Biggie Smalls, let's put it this way. Either A, he visited him because he was a person of interest, or B, he visited him because he knew that Reggie rolled over like a egg roll. He just rolled right over, and like he told Phil Carson, I what do you say? I cooperate. I'm a cooperating witness. I cooperate. Well, there's another name for that, and maybe that's why Greg Kading went to him. So I don't know what's worse, because I'm not professing to ever be in a gang or be gang related or know the streets like that. But to me, it always seems that being looked at as a person of interest in a crime and being looked at as somebody who will give up information at the drop of a hat, I don't know what's worse. I don't know what the worst admission is on everything. So, that's what I think. But this has just been an amazing interview, and I do want to give a quick shout out to. Okay, now I got to get my glasses on because I've been catching comments as it went. Yeah, Gaming Gang says, RJ, you adopted now. Well, do you hear that? I'm adopted now. I've been adopted.
Yeah, okay? You're adopted.
Gaming Gang said, yeah, Gaming Gang said, RJ, you adopted now. So there it is. I got to tell you a story. You want to hear a Frank story real quick? I'll give you a Frank story real quick before we get on more of this nonsense. Well, Frank and I went to talk to people.
Wait. Before you get into that, let him finish this.
Okay, go ahead.
That.
Now we talking, baby. We talking like 10 years, maybe 12 years later. So the streets talk. But that was something that was said 12 years later to Greg Cady. I didn't see Greg for the first time in my life until about 2008. We all
What?
know. Yes. That's the myth that everybody believes. Like everybody had a relationship. It's just that it's this stuff that happened so long ago where it seems like people have been in relationships for a long time. I didn't meet Greg Cady until they came knocking on my door for the murder investigation of Biggie Smalls, and which was like 2009, 2000, at least 2008, 2009, sometime like that.
So
That's when
that's
I
when
first
they
met.
that's how long it took for them to investigate the murder of Biggie.
They were investigating murder. They had other investigators, but when the mother filed that lawsuit, is when they set up a special task force, accompanied by like 12 different agencies. I mean, every agency was on that task force. They had IRS, they had Postal, they had FBI, LAPD, LA Sheriffs, and DEA.
Let me
So,
read this. Let me read this.
okay.
Juju Beans ask, Mr. Wright, we appreciate.
Okay, now that he let everybody know that he was the #1 suspect in 2008-9 for the Biggie murder, where like I've been telling everybody, go ahead, you could go ahead with your.
No, hang on. No, I just want to point something out. We got a comment from Courtney, and I see her over on my channel too. And she says, if you look out the background window of Reggie's car, it looks like they're doing donuts, and the background's just going back behind them, like they're just driving around in circles. Like she says, it looks like they're doing one continuous donut in the car, the way the background's moving.
Yo, he is so fucking busted. Like, he probably went and took this girl money because she paid him to do this interview, and didn't think that he would get tripped up the way he did. But he gave so much more information to make himself look even more guilty now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Is there anything interesting left on the rest of that?
Let me look at these notes. Hold on. I want to say no.
Well, while you're doing that, I got a funny Frank
Oh
story.
yeah, I do.
Okay,
yeah,
go.
one more.
What?
When he talks, hold on, I'll show you.
.313, my boy Real. 313 Live Show. He always talking about Detroit. He loves it. So I'm coming to visit him one day.
You would too. Let me see. Mel wants the link. Let's see. Let's get Mel the link. Let these people get up here because I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to be able to come back and kick it with your girl. I'm not trying to get up here and beat you up or no kind of shit like that.
No, I don't mind it because that's the only way things gonna get cleared up, because there's been so much stuff out there, negative stuff, positive stuff, or whatever. But there's so much stuff out there and I sit back. You didn't know me. You didn't know a picture. You ain't never seen how I look. Didn't know how I look until about 2012, 2013. If you've been following this stuff.
Right.
And like I told you earlier, I said the reason why I got on
I
here
put his picture
is
on
because
blast
my
in
son started going to
2007.
school and all of that, and like Reggie, right. And then I was like, oh, okay. My daughter's calling me like, oh, why they saying that
Daddy, you
about
the
you,
man.
Daddy?
Daddy, you the
No,
man. You like,
it was the other way around. Like, Daddy, why they said, why they said you had something to do with murder of Tupac and this and all of that? And I'm like,
this is the part I asked you the question earlier. Why did Reggie come on YouTube?
Yeah,
And you heard what she said about his daughter, right? Watch this.
Yeah.
and that's what made me come out and start addressing stuff.
So
The only reason.
immediately after, because this is something big. Do you think that they're going to be
by the
calling
way-
you in to testify
By
or
the
anything
way,
like that?
I put his picture on blast publicly in Tupac Assassination, Conspiracy or Revenge in 2007. And then I put his picture back out again off of Fox News in 2009. So this horse shit that he's shoveling, that nobody knew who he was until 2012, 2013. Nobody saw his picture. That's a bunch of crap. Okay, that's a lie, because it was out in 2007, and I do know it was hard to get his picture because I had to pay a photographer $500 to license a picture of Suge and Tupac because he was in the back, and it was all in the background, and I had to get that picture because that was the only way I could get a picture of him. He definitely intentionally stayed out of the photograph. Maybe that was his belief. I don't know, but
he was dirty. That's why. Allegedly.
Yeah, that's what. Well, that's generally why people want to stay out of the photograph. Gangsters always go like this. You know, they do that. You know,
Yeah,
don't
this
take
whole
pictures.
thing, he didn't even touch on how much drugs he moved. They didn't even touch on that. He was an American gangster.
Well, you know what? I heard somebody interesting say something the other day. Okay, and it was one of the guys that worked with Reggie on the Compton PD, and he said, and I quote, "Every time I pull somebody over for speeding, the first thing they tell me is, officer, this is the first time I've ever done this. The first time I ever sped like this. First time I ever did an illegal U-turn." And he said, "No, it's the first time you got caught."
Right.
That's it. The first time you got caught doing it. You were doing it for a long time. You got caught. Okay. And by the way, I guess it's a good thing, since he was putting money in his kids' accounts, his money laundering money. He was putting them in his kids' bank accounts. Okay. His drug money. He's putting his kids. I guess it's a good thing his kid didn't come to him and say, "Why are you putting all your drug money in my bank account, Dad? Why are you doing that? Why are you putting your money laundering money in my bank account?" Okay. What's this federal indictment that says that you're putting money in my bank account, Dad? You know, he's more worried about the Tupac thing, and she's saying, "Why are you involved with the Tupac?" You were involved with the Tupac thing. How could you not be? Okay.
Right.
Regardless of
I'm
whether or not
saying,
anybody
man.
says you actually had something to do with killing Tupac, that's a different story altogether. But you were knee deep in the whole thing, and it amazes me. There's actually a psychological term called the dissociative disorder. It's called dissociative disorder. And what it means is that you're actually able to take yourself out of yourself and look at yourself and speak about yourself in the third person.
Right.
Notice how he also calls himself Reggie. Reggie's a good cop. Reggie's a good cop. Reggie never said. He takes him out of the third person and he objectifies what normal people would be subjective to. So when you're in the middle of shit and you're knee deep up in it and people are dying around you and things are happening, you're subjective. That takes a toll on people. Okay. And what you see, and it's always amazed me that this guy talks in the third person. He goes, "Why? That's my opinion about who had him killed. That's my opinion." You were there. You were physically there.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you acting like you're watching a tennis match and you're sitting up in the bleachers doing this.
No, you on the field, brother.
You want to play in the field, motherfucker.
Right. God damn it. Yeah, man. But
you just act, and that's again, that's the thing, you know.
So shout out to Kimmie Love. Y'all show her some love. You know what I'm saying? But
she did a good job.
Yeah, she got a good job of having him trip his goddamn self up so bad. Whoa! Now he found out about the shooting at the hospital from Suge in the emergency room. Wow. We gotta make sure Suge see this so he can address that on collect calls. Reggie came and talked to him in the emergency room. Like they just let anybody run in the back of the emergency room. Okay.
So a couple things. I've been checking the comments now. RJ said J-Mix YouTube channel used to be lit, and it was. J-Mix is living his life. He says hi to everybody. I talk to him all the time. He's waiting to make sure. Speaking of kids, he's just waiting to get his kids through school, because he's got kids in school and he's trying to work and get them out of school like that. You know, he's out living his life. You know, I think he gave up. When you look at pioneers of people who did YouTube channels about Tupac and stuff like that, and you look at the beginning of YouTube, he was there at the very beginning of YouTube and built a channel like that, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos and interviews with guys like Dave Aaron and people like that that nobody had ever heard of before. You know, Tommy D, all these people, engineers at Death Row. He always interviewed the people that were the workers, the people that did the work and knew Tupac on a working basis and knew him that way. He didn't get into the whole, I mean, he talked to artists from time to time, but he really talked to the people that could talk about the nuts and bolts about getting things done at the record label and what it was like. And he really got deep cuts, as you call them, on a, you know, on an album. You got what's called a deep cut, which is like, man, I wouldn't even known about that person if you hadn't have done that interview with him. And he researched and he found all that stuff out. I promise you, you will hear from J-Mix again in a big way. Okay, I promise you guys that. I promise you that. All right, sorry about that. So shout out to J-Mix there.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to RJ Barnes channel. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to double back and catch up on some of the documentaries that he did before Tupac assassination, Fight for Compton, and others, y'all go look that up and go check those out. There's more information in there.
I want to tell this story real quick before I go, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, the Frank
So
story.
Right? I'm going to tell this Frank story because I get hit all the time. Hey, you got any Frank stories? When we first did the first assassination movie, we were doing a lot of promotional stuff down in the South. We're all down in Atlanta. We were down around there, Stone Mountain, where the foundation was, and we were doing around like that. And Frank told me one day, we were doing publicity and everybody was very accepting. We went up to Chicago, went to the project in Chicago. Everybody was just totally accepting. And I was accepted along with him, treated so well, never a care. And I said to Frank, oh man, Frank, why are these people, you know, these people are, you know, are so nice and everything. I figured that maybe they'd be a little bit suspicious about, here's Frank and he's got the white guy coming with him and, you know, they'd be playing like that.
Right.
And Frank looks over at me, says, and he smiles and he says, I told him you're a Creole. That's what he said. He said, he goes, look at Papa G. Papa G is white looking as white could be. You'd never know he was black. Papa G was a light-skinned black. He was. And he said,
let me tell you something. What's so funny about that?
And he said, but that's what he told everybody. He said he would tell everybody RJ's Creole, and I got a free pass that way.
Hey, I'm not gonna even lie to you. When I saw you in the Tupac assassination joint, I thought you was black too. Like you had the goddamn tan. I don't know what the fuck it is, but you wasn't as goddamn white as you is.
Not now. Yeah, not now. I ain't been out in the sun in a long time. I was out in the sun a lot more than those days. I've been indoors a lot.
I swear to God, you know how many times I've seen that shit, and since I've known you, I didn't know that was you until like a week or two ago because I went back to watch it again, and then I'm listening to your voice, and I'm like, that fucking RJ. Hey, yo. You look like you look totally different, man. I thought you was like some black guy that worked at Death Row when I first seen that shit.
Yeah, that's what Frank would say. That's funny because that's what Frank would say. Frank would say, I told him you're a crow. He couldn't get away with it now. And of course, I get the Uncle Fester stuff because I've been in my old age, I've been getting more light skin, but I'm Italian, so I got dark skin. I get out in the sun for any period of time and I go dark. I get dark real fast. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to go out and get some more sun, I think, at this point.
Yeah, because I swear to God, I didn't know who the fuck you was. I'm trying to see if I can pull up a picture of that shit. That shit had me fucking rolling. I said, hold on, wait a minute. That's RJ Barnes. Where's the picture at? Oh, this is something different. I ain't never see this one. Oh no, this is different. You're not whispering low enough. We can all hear you.
I'm saying goodbye, good night to my kid. That's all. Yeah, I got the greatest microphone in the world, man. It'll pick up a flight.
I tell you, it's like that. It's a YouTube Instagram post with this lady in the church that was with this guy for like 40 something years, and they asked him, they asked her, how y'all been together so many years? And she tried to whisper in his and then the pastor ear by sucking his thing. And it came across the microphone in the church.
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
That'd have been a scene. That'd have been a
Right.
scene. But that's
Yeah,
that is
I can't find it right now.
the
but-
truth is stranger than fiction category. Yeah, I was out there when I was living in Kentucky. We were out in the sun all the time. You know, I get that farmer's tan, but I get real dark. And it was about the time we did the assassination movies. And you know, what was that? But you got to remember now, that was 17 years ago, man. The first assassination movie dropped in 2007. It was 17 years ago.
Yeah, that is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well,
Reggie.
I'm gonna let you go because I know you
All
gotta
righty.
kiss the kids. Good night.
All right, time for the old man to go to bed.
Oh, you
And,
know he's gonna be talking shit about us in a few days.
Oh, well, you know what? Like I said, you know, turnabout's fair play, because, you know, if he's going to say silly things, you know, they need to be responded to. But I will say this, okay? And
Yeah.
I'll put it out there like that. Kids and wives, that's below the belt. That's just off limits. And, you know, you keep tapping on my kids, you keep tapping on my wife, you know, I don't know what I can tell you. Okay. But it's wrong. Okay. It's just wrong. And, you know, you may feel like somehow you're vindicating yourself by doing it, but you're not fooling anybody. Okay. And with that, peace. Question everything. That's what I always tell the knuckleheads. Question everything. All right.
All right, cool.
We'll see you guys.
All right, man. I'll holler at you in a minute. My friend calling back.
See you, Choke. Bye.
All right, one. Choke, no joke. I am out. I will holler at y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace.
West Coast. Put it up. No palm trees or trees in the palms of dealers and fiends. Late night roam the streets. Weed is weaker, but it's cheaper. Not many chicks frontin' like divas. Out west, every chick's a model like Eva, and you know I'm far from believing her. So I'm G'ing her like she G'ing me. Banging in LA is a different thing. At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. When I'm on the west and I'm doing my thing, don't offer me coke or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. Gotta love life and offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the East, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the ass. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful who show you around the East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap East Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, pop your bottles and toss the cork. If you rap West Coast, both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzis playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all let's connect. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap West Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. You can't get the West without the ES. So it's manifested that we connect. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. Learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either war, we here now. You know what it is.
Joke, no joke. About to do some hard treatment.